Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, May 5th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some MLB action this Monday evening. The Seattle Mariners versus the Athletics. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Monday, everyone. And on the thumb on the left, it is Julio Rodriguez. And on the right, the Athletic stud, Lawrence Butler. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, DHing for Seattle, Jorge Polanco. Batting third, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching today for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting fifth, playing first base for Seattle, Rowdy Tellez. Batting sixth, playing left field, Miles Mastroboni. Batting seventh, playing third base, Ben Williamson. Batting eighth, playing second base, Leo Rivas. And batting ninth, playing right field, Rylan Thomas. And on the mound for the Mariners, one of our aces with a 2-3 record, an ERA of 3.52, trying to get to 500 in the win column, and then the next one he'll be above 500. It's Miller time, Bryce Miller. And we're going to need a good outing. I know your back has been a little jacked up. You haven't been 100%. Things have been maybe not what we expected, to go into 2025. But with 2 more wins, you're in the win column, and then everything can be smooth sailing from that point on. Let's go, Bryce. We're going to need an electric outing. Let's go. And now let's get into the starting lineups for the home Athletic, who are in second place in the division behind the Mariners, and they're 19-16, 6-9 at home. But when's the last time you've seen the Athletics with an above 500 record? It's been a minute, and I'm actually kind of rooting for these two teams to make the playoffs. Obviously, the Mariners to win the division, but it would be awesome if we could get the Athletics to get second place over the Astros, Rangers, and we know the Angels have no chance. They are dead last. So let's get into the starting lineup for the Athletics. Leading off for the Athletics in right field, a stud, Lawrence Butler. Batting second, DHing for the A's, Brent Rooker, another stud. Batting third, playing left field, Tyler Soderstrom. And early in the season, before Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh passed him, he was leading the league in homers for a little bit. Great start for Tyler. Batting fourth, batting cleanup, third baseman Miguel Andujar. Batting fifth, catching today for the Athletics, Shea Langeliers. Batting sixth, playing center field, J.J. Bleday. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, Jacob Wilson. Batting eighth, playing first base, Nick Kurtz. And batting ninth, the former Mariners second baseman, Luis Urias. And on the mound for the Athletics with a 1-3 record, ERA of 3.30, Luis Severino. That last photo of Luis wasn't up to par. I'm going to have to find another one. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour. 30 to 50 overall, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single screen. Hole in the building, what's good? Hybrid in the building, what's good? Daniel in the building, what's good? Let's freaking go. And, obviously we know in that Boston-New York series, they got some scrappy players with Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges and whatnot. So, it was a big win, to steal game number 1, but there's no guarantee that they're going to beat Boston, if it's a 7-game series. But definitely, if you're a New York fan, you have to be excited. Obviously, a good series that we have on now with the Thunder going against the Nuggets. And whoever wins that particular series could represent the West, even though we've seen the T-Wolves and Anthony Edwards flexing on a lot of the Western Conference. All right, baby, I am ready for this matchup. It's been a while since both of these teams have been good and at the top of the leaderboard, but I love what I'm seeing. First pitch from Severino to J.P. Crawford, four-seam fastball 2 feet off the plate. 1-0 count. Come on, baby, let's go. Let's go, J.P. In play on a 1-0 pitch, and Crawford single to right, and that's what I'm talking about, getting off to a fast start early. Way to go, J.P. Next up, DHing Jorge Polanco. And again, we want to see him get going early and often. First pitch to Polo, a foot off the plate, 1-0 count from Severino. Let's go, Polo. Let's go, baby. And we're trying to win our 9th consecutive series, which would have been the first time since a franchise record 15 straight series. That was our best team ever. That was in 2001 in Ichiro's rookie year. And we actually ended up doing that from July 27th to September 18th. Can you imagine winning 15 straight series? I mean, you definitely are going to be a team that's winning 100 to 120 games, and we won 116 that year. 1-0 pitch from Severino to Polo, fouled off, down the pipe. 1 ball and 1 strike from Severino, who is 1-3 with a 3.30 ERA, going against our best hitter in Jorge Polanco. And right now, Polo is batting a cool 380. And it's been about 350 to 450 all year. Let's go, Polo. In play on the 1-1 pitch. And flied out to right. Man, I thought that was going to go yard. 1 away. Next up, in the 3-hole, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. We need that bat, and we need that defense. Let's go. Trident's up. First pitch, fouled off right down the middle with a cutter, 90 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. And we off to a good start with the likes. We're already at 11. We only need 9 more to be able to get to the algorithm and get to 20. So if you are in the room and haven't smashed it yet, please do. And the faster we get to 20, that'll help us hit the algorithm for a recommendation from YouTube. And then we can possibly get a few more people in the stream, possibly new subs and new support. 0-1 pitch after the fouled off cutter by Julio in play. And Rodriguez lined out to center after a 1-1 count, 2 away. Next up, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. We're in the top of the first with 2 outs. A nice single by JP to lead us off. Let's see if we can actually bring him home. Let's go, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Torpedo bat, engaged. Let's go, baby. First pitch, inside, tried to jam Cal Raleigh with a cutter, 94 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Trident's up. Let's go, Cal. Lauren in the building. What's good? Mariners are looking to win 9 consecutive series for the first time since a franchise record 15 straight in 2001. So this would be a big deal. Blue Jays after this, and we ended up going to battle with them. And this time around, we're going to be at home. So we'll see how it goes. 0-1 pitch, sweeper inside, tries to jam him again with the sweeper. One ball and one strike, Severino to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 1-1 pitch, cutter at the head. 2 balls and 1 strike from Severino to big dumper. Let's go Mariners, baby. Trident's up. 2-1 pitch, cutter inside at the hips. 3 balls and 1 strike from Severino to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. Leading the league in homers with 12 at this point. Takes a strike, swinging on a sweeper, 87 miles an hour in the zone. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Severino to big dumper. And Crawford safe. There we go, baby. We got to be able to get guys over. And again, getting singles is great, but getting a guy in scoring position definitely very important. Windy afternoon there in Sacramento. And a ball. There we go, baby. I like that. Cal Raleigh with the walk. Nice job. Let's see if we can get some momentum early. JP with a single, steals second base. A few pitches later, Cal forces a walk. Julio, take notes. Next up, Rowdy to left. And again, Rowdy and Polo sat for a couple hours and ended up being a hero a few days ago. Let's see what happens when they start. First pitch, high and away. Takes a strike, swinging on a four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour from Severino. 0-1 count. Come on, Rowdy. Let's go, baby. Be awesome if we could get a RBI single here and make it 1-0 in the first inning. Hey, free trial of MLB is always good. If you have T-Mobile and you sign up, they send you a link and you can just click on it, but it doesn't give you necessarily like maybe your local team, which is kind of like the whole point, right? If you want to sign up for something like that, you want to be able to watch your team play. So it pretty much gives me every team but the Mariners. But again, I already have many other ways to watch. But hopefully you had some fun watching some of the other teams on your free trial. All right. Well, we don't get another individual to get the RBI, but again, at least we got JP on and Cal on, and hopefully that'll be a sign of things to come on the mound. A guy that has been struggling. Brian Wu and Luis Castillo have been better. Logan Gilbert and George Kirby are injured. But as far as our normal main 5, Miller is probably doing the worst, out of Wu and Castillo, since Kirby and Gilbert are not available. We still probably trust Miller more than Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock. But again, he has been dealing with a back issue. So hopefully the back won't be tightened up like it was for Ben Williamson a couple games. And I would love to see Bryce get 7 to 10 Ks today. And hopefully that'll propel us to a victory. And then at that point, he can get the dub and he'll be 3-3. Right now, he's 2-3. With an ERA of 3.52, which isn't horrible, but isn't great either. You'd rather have that ERA closer to the high 2s rather than the mid 3s, but it is what it is. And hopefully we can get some run support here in Sacramento when we're going against the Athletics. Leading off, right fielder, putting up the Wolfpack. I see you, too sweet, Lawrence Butler. Batting second, DHing, Brent Rooker. And batting third, left fielder, Tyler Soderstrom. And if we're really being honest and looking at those 3 guys, that's one of the best, 1-2-3s in the league. And again, I don't think these guys get enough credit, kind of like the Seattle Mariners, where you have to win a lot to be able to impress the guys that are only watching their favorite team. And right now, both teams are, at the top of the division. And again, I told everyone I thought that the Athletics and the Red Sox would be the 2 teams that would make a leap from last year. Both have. Again, my ESP isn't going to be right 100% of the time, but when you do the research and you watch the film, stats don't lie. First pitch at the knees, 1-0 count from Bryce Miller to Butler with the cutter, 96 miles an hour, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch In play and flied out to center field. Julio Rodriguez, no fly zone there. There we go. One away. Down goes LB. Lawrence Butler. Next up, DHing Brent Rooker. First pitch, outside of the zone. 0-1 count from Miller to Rooker. Rooker in the box and Bryce Miller on the mound. We need a strong outing. We need some electricity, baby. 0-1 pitch, high and away with the cutter. 1 ball and 1 strike from Miller to Rooker. Let's go, baby. You know what it is. We got to be dripped up in Mariner swag, top to bottom. We got the Lucky Griffey bauble. We got the hat. We got the do-rag. We got the King Griffey Jr. cutoff, Mitchell and Ness. We got the shorts. We got the socks. I got the mini trident here. And hopefully we'll be able to bust that out at some point here. Andrea in the building. What's good? Big swing and a miss. Come on, baby. Bryce Miller on the mound. Brent Rooker in the box. Bottom of the first with 1 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out with nobody on from Miller to Rooker. That pitch fouled off. Come on, baby. Yeah, you know what? I mean, if you're a baseball fan in general, you know, and if I lived in that area, regardless if I was an Athletic fan or a Mariner fan, oh, I would be having a blast. You know, and especially in a smaller stadium like that, you probably have a better chance of getting a foul ball or a home run ball than in a bigger stadium. So, you know, I like going to AAA games, you know, back in my childhood. And even though this might be like kind of a, you know, minor league park and whatnot, not up to par. Obviously, when it becomes the Las Vegas Athletics, it's going to be top tier. In play on a 3-2 pitch and hit by pitch, Brent Rooker. We got to be careful. Come on, Bryce. But again, you know, I would be having a blast either way, big stadium, little stadium. But, you know, again, both of these teams are playing very, very well. And again, I would love to see the Athletics, you know, based on all their turmoil, you know, from their ownership. You know, we thought we had bad owners. You know, they got terrible owners out there too. And, you know, it was damn shame that they didn't sell the team earlier, you know, or been able to get a new owner so they could have stayed in Oakland. But, you know, when teams end up going to Vegas, it usually works out. More money, more drunk fans. But the people that end up missing out are those hardcore fans that followed this team in Oakland for years and years and years. And my heart goes out to them. Bottom of the first, runner at first with 1 out. Next up is Tyler Soderstrom, who is a stud, a guy that was actually leading the league in homers before Cal Raleigh got his torpedo bat and Aaron Judge started raking as well. Eugenio Suarez had that 4 home run game that kind of propelled him over. Soderstrom, who's at 9, he's kind of stuck there. And then obviously Schwarber is at 10 as well. But you may see Tyler hit a home run or 2 in this series to get him closer to Cal Raleigh. First pitch at the knees with the knuckle curve, 1-0 count from Miller to Soderstrom. 1-0 pitch in the zone, called ball, should have been strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. No. 2 balls and no strikes from Miller to Soderstrom. I'm not sure what that ump was looking at on that last pitch. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Tyler Soderstrom from Bryce Miller. Let's go, Bryce. Takes a strike looking right down the pipe. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Miller to Soderstrom. Bottom of the first, runner at first with 1 out. This is going to be a tough series. It's not going to be easy. Again, you know, we kind of fell short on the sweep against the Rangers, but, you know, I feel like this one might be tougher than even the Blue Jays at home. You know, even though we're going to have our fans, you know, rallying behind us, we know how good, you know, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is, Bo Bichette. You know, they got plenty of guys that can hurt you. So we got a 2-2 count here from Bryce to Soderstrom. Come on, baby. We need a double play here. Let's go. In play on the 2-2 pitch. And Soderstrom single to right. And gets to, ooh, baby, second base with that double. Now you got runners at second and third. Come on, Bryce. First pitch to Miguel Andujar. Takes a strike looking high in the zone. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, 0-1 count. And again, we know as far as Bryce Miller, his back hasn't been, the greatest. But hopefully he can find himself in a little bit of a groove. We don't want to get down early against a team like this. This team has been playing just as hot as the Mariners. When we had, obviously we got the best record in the MLB, since, like the first week of April. But within the last 11 games, it was pretty close. I think we both were at 9-2 records as two of the best in that stretch. And then a game or two has passed since then. But the Athletics don't fear, the Astros, the Rangers, or the Angels. And again, we're going to have to play well here to be able to beat this team. Otherwise, we're only going to win 1 out of 3. Runners at second and third in the bottom of the first. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Miller to Andujar as he fouls off that last four-seam fastball. We got to get out of this inning. One-two pitch, splitter inside at the hips, fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Miller to Andujar. And again, it's like we got Bryce, who's been a little shaky. We already saw Logan Evans get beat the fuck up against the Rangers in the last game, and then we got Emerson Hancock tomorrow. So obviously we're at the weakest point of our lineup, so we got to win today, especially we don't know what we're going to be getting tomorrow. Pitch is outside about 10 feet, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Miller to Andujar. But thankfully on Wednesday, on the rubber match, we have Brian Wu. So we're going to win that one. But again, more than likely. But again, we have to try to be able to win 1 out of these 2 first games if we are going to try to win the series and go 2 out of 3. To say that either team is going to sweep is a little ridiculous based on how good both teams have played. Mariners aren't good enough to sweep this team, and I don't think the Athletics are good enough to sweep the Mariners on that end as well. But someone's going to win 2 out of 3, and hopefully it's Seattle. Pitch is inside at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Miller to Andujar. Runners at second and third with 1 out. We need something here. Come on now. Pitch is fouled off with the knuckle curve. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Bryce. Settle in. And again, we've had an issue with even our main guys, with Logan Gilbert and Miller and Wu, and obviously Kirby hasn't played yet, but a lot of guys have been shaky within the first couple innings. But really what it comes down to, are you going to give up a run, or are you going to give up 3 or more and put us in a hole? And luckily, we've been able to get out of a lot of jams, within the first 2 innings. So we've had bases loaded, no outs, bases loaded, 1 out, and maybe we only give up a run. And then we end up getting the run back in the next inning. So I'm not too concerned just yet, but something to keep an eye on with Bryce. And it has been shaky, this year. Castillo has been better. Wu has been better. And Gilbert, before he got hurt, was better. Bottom of the first, 0-0. 1 out. Runners at second and third. Full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 pitch. In play. Fucking A. And Andujar hit a sac fly to center. Rooker scores from third. 1-0 A's. And now we have to stop the bleeding. That's all we can give up. Nice sac fly by Andujar. Next up, catcher Shea Langoliers. Bottom of the first, runner at second with 2 outs. Can't have it be 2-0 or 3-0 here in the first inning. Now, this isn't the old school Athletics that you can beat up like the Angels. This team is solid. And honestly, if the Astros and Rangers have injuries, I wouldn't be shocked if the Athletics actually get second place this year. I think it would be dope to have 2 teams that get disrespected all the time, take over. And Astros and Rangers can be at home watching the other teams make the playoffs and go on a run. First pitch inside from Miller to Langoliers with the slider, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch from Miller inside, same spot, same location, almost hits the batter. High and inside at the head, 2-0 count. Come on, baby. Bryce looking shitty to start off this matchup, if we're just being honest. 2-0 pitch, outside about 2 feet off the plate. 3-0 count for Miller to Langoliers. Well, that's kind of overreacting. Anyone that, wins the first game, especially if it's the underdog, but what is the realistic chances that the Knicks actually win the series, over Boston? It's not likely. They might be able to win a couple games, but again, if Boston can shoot 40% from 3, they're almost unbeatable. It still kind of feels like it's going to be, Thunder Celtics in the finals. But again, the T-Wolves have been playing well. You can't ever count out the Nuggets and the Joker, right? And obviously, Jalen Brunson is a stud. Mikal Bridges is dope. But, if we're talking about a long series, great to steal game 1, but highly unlikely that they win the series. Everyone loves to overreact when they have a big underdog winning game 1. But let's wait a couple more games in the series, and we'll see where it goes. Warriors have 0% chance. We already know that. I mean, really the only teams that are playing on a high level right now are the Thunder, right? We already know they've been the best team in the West all year. Obviously, Anthony Edwards is hot right now for Minnesota, but I'm not sure, on their chances of making it this year. If they do, it would be like a year or 2 early. But I wouldn't count out the T-Wolves as long as Edwards is in there. And then we already know what the Nuggets can do with the Joker and Jamal Murray. Bottom of the first, runner at second with 2 outs. 3-2 count from Miller to Langoliers. Now, I mean, if this Warrior team where it was like from back in the day with a healthy Steph, a healthy Clay, a healthy Draymond, then it's a different story, No, 0% chance, bro. Be realistic with yourself. You already saw your team play very, very well and win championships. They don't have a chance this year. That's like saying if the Blazers were in the playoffs, they have a chance. They don't. Let's be real. They're not, again, it's one thing to be in the playoffs, but, there's contenders and there's pretenders. And unfortunately for your Warriors, they're pretenders this year. That's an honest statement, okay? They have 0% chance of winning the championship or even making it to the finals. Not going to happen. That's not being a hater. That's just being real. All right, let's see who's up next here as we get out of the jam here. 1-0 in the top of the second. Next up for the Mariners here in the top of the second in the 6th hole, left fielder Miles Mastrobuoni. Let's go, Miles. We need some base knocks. Batting second in the 7 hole, third baseman Ben Williamson. And batting third, second baseman Leo Rivas. Let's go, baby. Way to get out of that jam. Miles Mastrobuoni, golly. Strike looking, then another strike, and then see you later. Nice strikeout there by Luis Severino. I had to go check up on that pup real quick. Make sure that she was doing okay. Was hoping that Miles would have an at-bat more than 3 pitches. That kind of reminded me of Julio. 1 away. Next up, third baseman Ben Williamson. Let's go, Big Ben. First pitch, high and away. 1-0 count from Severino to Williamson. Well, typically what will happen is if I end up being correct and the people are wrong, they disappear and they don't come back, you know. And I'm not going to be right about every single prediction, but I will tell you this. I am more correct than most YouTubers that are out there. And the simple fact is that I read and I watch film more than anybody else. If I'm reading and watching film 4 to 6 hours a day and doing this show, I'm going to have more of a pulse on what's going on, you know, and not having a bias, you know, just because I like a certain player or I like a certain team. I throw that out the window and I just look at who looks the best, who's playing the best, who's got the best bench, the best coach, you know, who's hot right now. You know, obviously history repeats itself, but every once in a while, yeah, you're going to have an upset. It's sports. That's why we love it, right? But we will see who's right and who's not. Severino on the mound, Big Ben Williamson in the box. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Severino to Big Ben. I would like to be able to see another streamer or another individual that is dedicated to the craft like myself. You know, especially when I'm covering everything: basketball, baseball, football, hockey, NASCAR, WWE. You know, it's one thing to be able to watch your favorite team and your favorite team only, but when you got to pay attention to everything that's going on, that takes a lot of work. 2 away. Next up is Leo Rivas. First pitch to Leo, inside at the head. 1-0 count with the cutter. Athletics up 1-0 here in the top of the second, and hopefully we can tie this up in the next couple innings. Let's go. One-0 pitch, takes a strike looking with the cutter. 1 ball and 1 strike to Leo Rivas. 1-1 pitch, strike looking, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Severino to Rivas. Come on, Leo. Pitch is low and at the knees, low and away with the sweeper. 84 miles an hour by Severino. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs and nobody on. Got to find a way to get on base here. 2-2 pitch. 4-seam fastball, a foot off the plate. High and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs and nobody on. Count now is full for Severino. And Rivas with the walk. He's got great baseball IQ. Love having him at the end of the order. Next up in the 9 hole, who just made his MLB debut a couple days ago, right fielder Rylan Thomas. Let's go, Rylan. First pitch to Thomas. High and in the zone, fouled off with the 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Come on, Rylan. And you never know what you're going to be getting out of a lot of arm guys, you know, right out of the gate. And again, injuries have been pretty impactful, you know, to the Mariners. You know, we're the number 1 pretty much injury-prone team besides the Braves, but, you know, they're kind of going in one direction and we're going in the other. So I like the way that we've been able to call up, you know, some of these farm guys and have a nice blend of veterans and newbies. Cutter. Inside on the line, behind in the count now 0-2. I'm not really sure what this ump is seeing. Looks like his strike zone is a little different than what we traditionally see on MLB.com or ESPN or on TV, but we're going to have to adjust as the game goes. Top of the second, runner at first with 2 outs, 1-0 Athletics. Come on, Rylan. Top of the second, runner at first, 2 outs, 1-0 Athletics. This series is definitely going to be a grind. Both teams have been playing fantastic. And Severino throws to first, and he's safe. You're not going to pick off Leo at first. And Rivas picked off at first after, wow. Really? Now they're doing the review. It looks like we're going to the bottom of the second. They're going to call Leo out, huh? Tough break. See a couple different angles of this first. Is he out? Looks like he's out. I think that's a good call. First angle looked like he was safe, but then seeing that secondary camera angle looks like he's out. All right, let's go to the bottom of the second inning. Tough break for the Mariners. Got to get a little bit of rhythm. Next up, in the 6th hole, center fielder J.J. Bleday. Batting second. In the 7 hole, shortstop Jacob Wilson. And batting third in the 8 hole, first baseman Nick Kurtz. 1-0 Athletics. Let's go, baby. All right, let's see where we're at on the likes. We're doing a good job with the people in the room. I appreciate it very much. We're already at 22 with about 24 minutes to go to get it to 1 hour. If you are in the room and haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us try to get to 30 so we can extend this algorithm. We're at 22 now with 33 in the room. Appreciate you guys very, very much. And hopefully we can get to 30 within the first hour, hour and a half. Let's go, baby. J.J. Bleday in the box and Bryce Miller on the mound. Bryce looking a little shaky, but again, he only ended up giving up a run, which was good. First pitch to Bleday right down the middle, strike swinging with the sinker, 93 miles an hour. Good pitch there from Bryce, 0-1 count. And again, we just need to get him a couple of strikeouts, if possible, to gain a little bit more confidence. But again, when your back is not 100%, or you have back spasms like Ben Williamson did, again, it definitely affects every aspect of your game, defense as well as offense, especially for Big Ben. Not a guy that typically gets errors, but when he ended up having that back spasm issue, he had a couple in a matter of 3 days, but I think that he's okay now. But the back has been an issue for Bryce, all year. Takes a strike swinging on an 0-1 pitch on the splitter outside of the zone. Behind in the count now 0-2. 0-2 pitch, high and away with the splitter. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Miller to J.J. Bleday. Now JT in the building. What's good, brother? Pitch outside, about 5 feet off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Miller to J.J. Bleday. 2-2 pitch, fouled off right down the pipe. Knuckle curve, 83 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Bryce Miller to J.J. Bleday. Bottom of the second, nobody on, no outs, 1-0 Athletic lead. And Andujar hit a sac fly to center. Rooker scored when we had, obviously, runners at second and third, and that put them in a good position to score. Pitch high and inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Miller to Bleday. Count now is full. Come on, baby. And normally Bryce isn't a guy that's going to get into a lot of full counts or a lot of 3-0 counts. But again, when the back isn't 100%, he's fighting through it the best way that he can. But he definitely does not look like the Bryce Miller of 2024 or 2023. This is probably the worst version that we've seen of Bryce, at least at this early stage of the season. In play, and that's a double to right by J.J. Bleday. Brutal. Nice hit by J.J. I see you. Next up, shortstop Jacob Wilson. Yeah, I heard about it this morning. There's no surprise. They drafted a kicker. He wasn't very good last year. In the last couple years, if you actually looked at his, percentage of making kicks, they went down pretty dramatically. So, and then on top of that, if you have allegations that you're a sexual predator like Deshaun Watson, even if this was done at massage parlors and masseuses, from 5-10 years ago, it doesn't matter. You did it, and again, for people thinking that he's innocent, it's one thing if you have one allegation, then, maybe someone's trying to extort you and you get a payday. But when you start seeing shit where it's like 10 to 16 people, or in like Deshaun Watson's case, over 20, I mean, how many people do you need to point out the fact that you're guilty? And maybe some of those people were lying, but there's definitely some of those people that were telling the truth. So I think that was definitely one of the big deciding factors. You're not that good of a kicker anymore, even though statistically, he was at one point the number one kicker in the NFL, based on his percentage. But, when you have these terrible allegations on top of, kind of losing your skill set, that was a very easy decision for the Ravens to make. And then we'll find out where he goes. And wouldn't it be hilarious if he ends up signing with the Browns? And Jacob Wilson singles to right, brings in another run, 2-0 A's. Come on, baby. Nice job by Jacob Wilson there with the RBI. Next up, first baseman Nick Kurtz. We're going to need the offense to come alive here today. And again, we're probably going to need 5 runs or more, based off the pace the A's are hitting on Bryce early on. Kurtz flied out to center. 1 away. Just kind of jokingly, it would be hilarious if Cleveland were to sign him, especially with Deshaun Watson already there and they have the same fucking allegations and whatnot. But, I highly doubt that he'll end up there. But, I mean, you never know in sports. It really just depends on who needs a kicker and, if they think that he's got anything left in the tank, and then maybe they can get him on the cheap. But, based on what I've seen, I wouldn't want him on my favorite team. I think at this point, he may not be fully washed, but he's getting close, and again, I think at this point you would probably, try someone else, if you had a chance. But you never know, maybe he'll have a rebirth in his career and he might end up having a good season in 2025. But if I had to put money on it, I would say that it probably won't be. Miller, first pitch in the zone to Luis Urias, former Mariner. 0-1 count, takes a strike looking. 0-1 pitch, low and away with a sinker. 1 ball and 1 strike from Miller to Urias. We got to get out of this fucking inning. Come on now. Double play. Little slow dribbler right up to Rivas. Throw to first to Tellez. Let's get out of this inning. Pitches inside at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Miller to Urias. Islanders get the first pick. And the Kraken get I saw it come up. It's somewhere between 6, 7, and 8, right? It's either 6 or 8. I think it was 8, right? I kind of grazed by it on my timeline, but I'm pretty sure it said the 8th pick is what the Kraken get. Knuckle curve. High and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. My memory is pretty good, but again, when you're reading and you're doing so much research and film study, sometimes things, get mixed up a little bit or they slip through the cracks. But I'm pretty sure that's what it said that I remember. And hopefully the Kraken won't fire, their head guy after a year, but you never know. They didn't give Bylsma that much of a chance. You think that they would give him at least 1 more year to see how they looked, but they gave up on him pretty fast. Count now is full after that sinker fouled off high and in the zone. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at first. Miller on the mound, Urias, the former Mariner, in the box. Hopefully it's a slow dribbler up to second to JP or to Leo Rivas, and then we can get a double play here. We need to get out of this inning. I mean, someone could look it up on socials. It's either 6 or 8. It's one of those numbers. I know it's not 7 because I would have remembered 7. So it's definitely one of those numbers, 6th pick or 8th pick. And Urias grounds out to third, Wilson to second, 2 away. Now we're back at the top of the order. 0 for 1, right fielder Lawrence Butler. First pitch from Miller to Butler, high and away, 2 feet off the plate with the splitter, 1-0 count. Nice throw by Ben Williamson, great defense on that previous play. Pitch outside, 3 feet off the plate, high and away, 2-0 count from Miller to Butler. Man, Miller cannot hit the strike zone. This is really rough. You know, you're supposed to be one of our best guys, and you know, Logan Evans is struggling. Hancock is struggling. We can't afford Bryce Miller to struggle because then that only leaves us with 2 good pitchers out of 5, with Luis Castillo pitching well and Brian Wu being our best. And again, we're going to have to wait a few weeks, you know, for Logan Gilbert and a few weeks for George Kirby, but Kirby will be back before Gilbert. So, you know, can't wait to get those guys back because we're going to need it. I mean, we've been hitting great, but pitching definitely has not been as good, and the bullpen at times has been horrific, but we're on a nice little win streak. Pitch, high and away in the zone, 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second with 2 outs, 2-0 Athletic lead. Got to get out of this, baby. Come on, baby. But also, too, you have to give credit to the Athletics. This team is hot. You know, in the last 11 games, you know, and this was like a game or 2 ago, they had the identical record to the Mariners, 9-2. So, again, they had the best record in that time window, you know, out of anybody, the Mariners and the Athletics. So it's not like the A's are, you know, getting lucky. They're playing some good ball. And if you really look at their team, you know, who wouldn't love to have Lawrence Butler, Brent Rooker, or Tyler Soderstrom on their team? I mean, these guys are balling. Soderstrom led the league in homers early in the first couple weeks. He's at 9. So now I think he's in like 6, you know, since obviously Cal Raleigh's got 12 and you got Judge obviously in double digits and Eugenio Suarez at 10, Schwarber at 10 going into today's action. So he's kind of been at a standstill, but those 3 guys are awesome. And they're definitely leading the way with what this team has to show in 2025. Pitch is fouled off on a 4-seam fastball. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, runner at second. And this has been very uncharacteristic for Bryce, but it's kind of looked like every start that we've seen this year. Not really in control, pretty wild, you know, hitting a guy, walking a guy, you know, fucking baseball all over the place, not in the zone, but hopefully we have limited damage here. And Bryce gets out of the inning. There we go. And again, it could be much worse based on having full counts and guys on base. We easily could be down 4-0 or 5-0 right now. So for us to only be down 2, it's a blessing. You know, considering how Bryce has looked in these first 2 innings, we just need our bats to come alive. Andujar hit a sac fly to center. Rooker scored in the bottom of the first, 1-0. They could have put up 3 in the first. And then Wilson singles to right. J.J. Bleday scores 2-0. But again, we're still in the game. It's not over yet. Nice job by Rivas. Great defense by the Mariners lately. Next up, shortstop 1 for 1, J.P. Crawford. Can J.P. get us going again? Let's go Crawford. Let's go Crawdaddy. Batting second, the best hitter on the Mariners are modern-day Edgar Martinez, Jorge Polanco, showing what the DH position is all about. And batting third, center fielder, 0 for 1, Julio Rodriguez. And if there was a series where we needed you to do this at least once in 3 games, obviously today or tomorrow would be key. Let's go, J-Rod. Let's go, Julio. Hopefully he can find a way. Let's go, baby. Well, I don't think we can pull them sooner because our bullpen stinks, you know, and we got to make sure that, you know, it's not like we can pitch brash, you know, every game. and Munoz will only be ready, with what we have. So if you got guys like Trent Thornton or Vargas or Legomina, I mean, you tell me, do you trust those guys, Captain? I sure as hell don't. They're really the only guy that I trust. And even him, Gabe Spire, has been a little shaky. We obviously trust Munoz because he's the best closer in baseball this year. But other than Gabe Spire and Munoz, do we really fully trust anybody else? Maybe Brash, even though he's coming back from Tommy John, but he looked good. But other than those three guys, I don't really trust anybody else in the pen. Again, not everyone is as bad as Trent Thornton, but we'll see how it goes. First pitch, strike looking, high and away from Severino to Thomas, 0-1 count. And hopefully we can get some good production out of the newbie, Rylan Thomas. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees, fouled off. 0-2 count. 0-2 pitch, high and inside at the head with the sinker. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Severino to Thomas. 1-2 pitch, low and away, fouled off with the slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Severino to Thomas. Come on, baby. Sweeper again, fouled off right down the pipe. He's grinding. Severino, 1-3 record with an ERA of 3.30, so kind of similar to Bryce. 2-3 record, 3.52 ERA. So both of these guys have not really started off the year as their teams thought, but still good enough to get dubs for their team when they're on. Pitches outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count now is full from Severino to Thomas. Come on, Thomas. Force a walk if you need to. I mean, you don't even need to swing. Let's go, baby. I mean, it's too early in the game. I mean, again, the Mariners have been averaging about 6 runs a game, for quite some time. But again, when you're going against a team like the Athletics, who are good this year, like ourselves, it may end up being a pitching duel and low scoring, but we do have the skill set to explode in 1 inning and get 4, 5, 6 runs. And also we're very good in the 7th, 8th, and the 9th. So once the starter goes out, but you know what? I don't know. I really don't know how this game is going to play out. This is one of the very, the guesswork on this series is going to be tough. One team is going to win 2 out of 3, and I believe it will be the Mariners. But what 2 games do the Mariners win? And I don't know that yet. But we'll take a walk right there. Nice job, Rylan Thomas. Good eye. There we go. Nice job, Rylan. Now we have to see if we can get him to second. Next up, shortstop J.P. Crawford, one of the hottest hitters on the Mariners. And got a nice little hit streak going on, and hopefully that can continue. I mean, anytime you can get, over 10 games in a row with a hit streak, and then you start climbing to 14 and 15, you start feeling good, and then you hope that you can get it to 20. And JP is definitely on his way. First pitch, low and at the knees with a sweeper, 1-0 count from Severino to Crawford. 1-0 pitch, cutter, outside, 2-0 count to JP. Come on, JP. 2-0 pitch. Cutter fouled off right down the pipe. That would have been a good one to stay in play. 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at first and no out. Severino on the mound. JP in the box. Double E in the building. What's good, Elliot? My boy, how are you? Pitches outside with the sweeper, high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike from Severino to our guy, JP. Let's go, baby. Top of the 3rd. We're down 2-0. We're not worried about it. We respect this team. I hope this team actually makes the playoffs. I would love for the Mariners to win the division, the Athletics to get second, and then the Astros and Rangers can battle it out for 3rd. But if I had my preference, I probably would go Mariners 1, Athletics 2, Rangers 3, Astros 4, Angels 5. Angels obviously are terrible this year, so. And Crawford forces the walk, baby. I like this. Severino starting to lose the control, and right on cue, a guy with 1 swing that can make this game 3-2, Jorge Polanco. He's 0 for 1. Let's go, baby. Let's get it. Let's go. Double E, my boy. Yeah, you guys got a great team this year. It'll be very interesting to see what happens with the Giants, Padres, and Dodgers. Obviously, that's the best division in baseball. Those three teams could all go on a deep run. And everyone assumed the Dodgers would be great. Everyone assumed the Padres would be great, but no one expected the Giants to be as good as they are. And they definitely have made things interesting, definitely there in the NL West. Top of the third, runners at first and second with no outs. And usually when that happens for a starting pitcher in the fifth inning, you pull him, because if you don't, bad things will happen. First pitch, cutter right down the pipe, fouled off, 0-1 count from Severino to Polo. 0-1 pitch, low and away with the changeup, 1 ball and 1 strike from Severino to Polo. Come on, Polo. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a 3-run jack. Even if we get an RBI single and make it 2-1 and we can stop the bleeding and we can start feeling good about ourselves. Let's go, baby. Because I don't know if it's just me, and I know with Anna as well as maybe Captain, that last Ranger loss when Logan Evans got fucked up, that did not leave a good taste in my mouth. And I know he won his first start at home, but I was not expecting him to get fucked up like that. And I know it's hard to sweep teams, but I expected him to be a little bit better on the mound, and that was a little bit of a disappointment. So now we can't really say for sure that Logan Evans is that much better than Emerson Hancock. There we go! Polo singles the left. Ryland Thomas scores. Crawford to second. 2-1 Athletics. You just talk it into existence. I tell you, we're going to get an RBI. We get an RBI 10 seconds later. Let's go. Nice job, Polo. That's my boy. Next up, top of the third inning, runners at first and second with no outs. Let's tie this bitch up. Center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. In play. And Julio flies out to right. Crawford to third. 1 away. Julio overly aggressive for no reason. Always. Top of the third, 1 out. Runners on the corners. Let's try to get 1 more. Big dumper, catcher, Cal Raleigh. Now, obviously, if he goes for a 3-run jack and we're up 4-2, we're not looking back. But, again, he is using the torpedo bat. But, again, even just a RBI single, and then we have runners at first and second, no big deal. Let's just try to get as much as we can when we have these rallies. First pitch, strike looking with a 4-seam fastball in the zone from Severino to big dumper. 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. You the man. And I've known this since your rookie year. 4-seam fastball, high and away. Fouled off. Behind in the count now 0-2. Runners on the corners at first and third with 1 out. Top of the third, 2-1 A's. And I'm really looking forward to this series because I want to be able to see how we match up, against the better teams that are in the league. And, the surprise stories of this year are the Mariners, the Athletics, the Cubs, the Tigers, the Giants. And I love it. Cal gets baited high and away, and down goes Cal Raleigh. What a pitch by Severino, giving you a lot of electricity there. I see you, Louise. Nice pitch. 2 away. Next up, in the 5-hole, first baseman, 0-for-1, Rowdy Tellez. Can Rowdy be the guy that gets the RBI single to be able to match this game up and tie it up 2-2? Let's go. Yeah, but Judge is an everyday player and Polo is just DHing. But just the simple fact that, Polo's name is being mentioned with guys like Aaron Judge is a little crazy. But again, if we didn't have him, and Cal doing what they are doing with guys that are role players like Dylan Moore and JP and Rivas doing what they're doing. And obviously Dylan Moore is hurt right now, but prior to that, he was batting 300. So it's not just one guy out of 9 doing well. That's kind of the Mariners' MO when we were the worst hitting team in baseball and the number 1 strikeout team. Now we're a top 4 hitting team. Pitching has gone down. We're not a top 3 pitching team anymore. We're somewhere between 10 and 15. But again, we're scoring enough runs where even if we give up 3 or 4, we're scoring 6 to 10, in most games. And so, there's a give and a take, right? 2 balls and 1 strike from Severino to Tellez. Top of the third, runners on the corners at first and third with 2 outs. Let's see if we can get a little bit more here from Rowdy Tellez. I love it when people come in here and try to tell me what to do. Come on, my guy. You're going to try to tell me how to do my job on my own channel? Fuck out of here. Steve can watch somewhere else. That's the first rule in chat etiquette. You never go into someone else's stream and do that. There we go. And the RBI by Rowdy. There it is. What I tell you, baby. My ESP is right. Tellez doubled to right. Runners at second and third. 2-2. Mariners and Athletics, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Rowdy, I see you. You're the Canadian killer. And you started going off in that Blue Jay series with that solo dinger in the grand salami, and you haven't looked back, even though Tyler Locklear was about to take your job. Next up, Miles Mastrobuoni. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Miles. Let's continue the rally, baby. Trident's up. Let's go. In play. There we go. And there's another one. Mastrobuoni single to center. Polo scored. Tellez to third. Sorry, A's. 3-2 Mariners. Let's go. Hey, you know, I've been watching this team since 1985. 40 years, okay? I might look young, but I've been watching this for a long, long time, okay? History repeats itself. Yeah, records are meant to be broken, but a lot of things repeat themselves, and I love the rally that we're making. Next up, third baseman, Big Ben Williamson. Top of the third, runners on the corners with 2 outs, and the Mariners getting 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs, and taking the lead, baby. I love it. Let's go, Big Ben. First pitch, fouled off with the sinker, high and tight, 0-1 count. Let's keep beating them up, and maybe we can get Severino to go out by the 5th inning. Let's go. I mean, there's a reason why we're the best team in baseball in the last month, so. Crazy to think that we started off, you know, also like 3-7, you know, and then to be able to get to 20-13 since then, that really says a lot about who we are. And, you know, the injuries have not hurt us. We got the #1 farm team, you know, in all MLB. That helps. And a lot of the main stars haven't even been called up yet. It's like all the other guys that are being called up. So in play on a 0-1 pitch. Let's go. Momentum is a motherfucker. Williamson singled as the center. Tellez scores. Mastrobuoni to second. 4-2 Mariners. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Everyone feeling the love. Next up, a guy that's got great baseball IQ. Let's keep it going. Second baseman, Leo Rivas. Let's go. Hell yeah, baby. We're the real deal, baby. I'm telling y'all, I mean, even with injuries, this could be the year. You know, the Mariners win the division. This could be the year that we make the ALDS. This could be the year that we make the ALCS. And, you know, who knows what could happen? You know, obviously, we know that there's some good teams in the American League as well. But, you know, Yankees are going to be the Yankees. The Red Sox are going to be the Red Sox, right? But the A's and the Mariners, you know, for being kind of lower name teams, they're bringing the heat, baby. Let's go. One ball and 2 strikes from Severino to Rivas. 4-2 Mariner lead. And especially with Bryce being a little bit shaky in the first 2 innings, this is exactly what he needs to have that confidence and charisma moving forward. You got to be able to have some run support. Top of the third, runners at first and second with 2 outs. Mariners are great on getting hits with 2 outs. It doesn't phase them one bit. And we were down 2-0, scored 4 in this inning, and that is going to be it. In play, grounded out to the pitcher, throw to first, got him. But the damage is done, and that's how you get 4 runs in a fucking inning. So if you want a quick recap, bottom of the first, Andujar hit a sac fly to center. Rooker scored 1-0 Athletics. Bottom of the second, Jacob Wilson singles to right. Blade scores 2-0 A's. You know, we're feeling a little shaky on how things are going, but that third inning, that was our third inning. Polo singles to left. Thomas scores. Crawford to second. 2-1 Athletics. Then Rowdy Tellez doubles to right. Crawford scores. Polo to third. 2-2. Mastrobuoni singles to center. Polo scores. 3-2. Williamson singles to center. Tellez scores. Mastrobuoni to second. 4-2. And we're not looking back. Let's fucking go. Nice job, Mariners. Next up, in the 2-hole, 0-for-0 with a run, DHing Brent Rooker. Batting second, 1-for-1 left fielder Tyler Soderstrom. And batting third, 0-for-0 with an RBI, third baseman Miguel Andujar. Let's go, Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Captain says that we're getting close to 30, and we're still looking for our first dono to hit the dono train. And just as soon as I say that, there it is. Appreciate you. We're at 5. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure. I like the City Connects that they have. I think the only thing that I would love to have is get the gray jerseys back. You know, I think that there's definitely some of the jerseys that they could retire and whatnot. I mean, I know some people like the cream jerseys. You know, they got the white, the cream, the blue, and the City Connect, but I really like the grays. But with some of the new City Connects, some of them are stylish, but I think a lot of the older City Connects are a little bit better, you know, for most teams. But some of the newer ones this year are, you know, decently fashionable, to say the least. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $5 holla. We're at 5.95 to go. Appreciate you. And if Jacob can, or if Captain Oreo, you can keep up with the likes for me, I would appreciate that very much. Let me know what you want to do photo-wise, and I got you. First pitch to Brent Rooker. Takes a strike looking right on the line. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Fouled off high and away on a four-seam fastball. 94 miles an hour from Bryce Miller. Behind in the count 0-2. Come on, Bryce. Take care, Megan. Talk soon. Bottom of the third. 4-2 Mariners. And hopefully we can keep the momentum going. Let's go. 0-2 pitch, fouled off with the slider. Count remains 0-2. Yeah, I agree. And if you really think about it, you've been here with me on pretty much every game. But let's be honest. Even when Logan Gilbert was healthy, there was some innings where he didn't look good in the first couple innings of the game and was able to get out of it. Maybe not fully unscathed, maybe gave up a run or two, but it could have been much, much worse. And, you know, same thing with Castillo, even Wu, even though his record is great and he's our best guy this year. I think everyone, you know, not including, you know, Luis F. Castillo, who got sent down, Emerson Hancock, and now Logan Evans. You know, those guys are pretty much AAA, you know, kind of guys. So you don't really expect a whole lot out of, you know, the new guys coming up and whatnot. So until we end up getting Durangelo to the point where he pitches lefty and righty, and he'll be our new number 5, like where they put Brian Wu a couple years ago. When Durangelo is ready, he'll be a starter pitching from the left side and the right side, but it may be a few years. But you know, everyone has looked a little shaky, but again, as long as we're able to manufacture runs and we're like number 1 in many hitting categories, if the pitching goes from third best to 10th or 15th, but we're scoring 6 runs a game or more, it won't matter. We're going to still win. So, I mean, we would want, you know, the pitching to be better, of course, you know, and the bullpen is definitely not reliable. You know, obviously Brash looked good in his first start. Gabe Spire has been pretty good until the last couple opportunities where he gave up a homer and, you know, is a little shaky. And really the only guy that's been flawless has been Andres Munoz, who his ERA is 0.00. And if you play in 15 or 16 games, it's not supposed to be 0. So at least we got that going for us. You know, Polo off his stats, even though he may not qualify to be an all-star because he doesn't have enough, but he should be an all-star. Cal Raleigh is an all-star. Andres Munoz is an all-star. And Dan Wilson should be our manager in the American League. So in play on a 2-2 pitch, and Rooker grounds out to third. Williamson throw to first. Got him. There we go. Absolutely, Ben. You're on it. You know, anytime you end up getting down 2 runs, you're happy with just 1. Stop the bleeding. Then you get 2, and then you just want as many as you can get. And again, we are very, very hot with the bats. Next up is Tyler Soderstrom. 1 for 1. He's got 9 homers on the year. Ended up leading the league in homers within the first 2 weeks of the season. But we've had a few other guys leapfrog him since then. Kyle Schwarber, Eugenio Suarez, Aaron Judge, and obviously the leader with 12, Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch, fouled off with a sinker right down the pipe. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, high and tight. Now behind in the count, 0-2. Let's go, Bryce. But I'll tell you what, this is the, I think the funnest I've had watching the Mariners since I've been watching since the mid-'80s. This is the closest thing that we have to the 2001 team. And we're not even in that same category, but again, that team won 116 wins. We thought that might be the team that could at least make it to the World Series. But when you play the Yankees, and they end up winning a lot, and that's your rival. And, they got guys like Jeter, and Mariano Rivera, Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada. Sometimes shit happens, right? But I feel as far as like hitting-wise, this is the closest thing that we've seen to that 2001 team, and that's 24 years ago. So it's been quite some time. There we go, 2 away. Next up is Miguel Andujar. Down goes Soderstrom, which is a good sign. Bottom of the third, nobody on with 2 outs, 4-2 Mariners. Let's go, baby. Flying Monk in the building. What's good? And Andujar in play, flied out to left, and that's the end of the third inning. All right, next up for the Mariners in the 9-hole, right fielder, 0 for 0 with a run and a base on ball, Ryland Thomas. Now, if I'm Ryland Thomas, I go for a bunt at this first at-bat. The pitcher will have no idea it's coming, and he's in the 9-hole. What does he have to lose? And again, if he does it the right way, he could end up being safe. Don't know if he'll do it, but I know if I was him, I would. Let's see what happens here. Batting second, shortstop, 1 for 1 with a run and a base on ball. Another guy that could drop a butt down, J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI. The guy that gets things moving, Jorge Polanco. Let's go, Polo. And if Polo gets a couple hits in this game and in the next game, he'll be at 400. Right now, he's at 383. But it's just crazy to look at some of these numbers where I'm not really used to this. Again, especially when you're normally a bottom, hitting team, number 1 strikeout team. Normally, your team batting average is like 180 to 200, and right now it's around 240, 250. And again, you got J.P. Crawford just hovering around 300 at 292, Polo at 383. Julio is sucking ass, but we're still winning games. He's at 209. Cal Raleigh at 244, when normally he's at 180 to 200. That's huge. Rowdy Tellez at 200 when he was at 0.50. That's huge. Masterboni at 228 when he was at 280 earlier in the year, so he needs to pick it up. Ben Williamson was at 300, down to 250, had a couple games with back spasms, had some errors, and didn't really do a whole lot, but he's getting back on track. And the guy that is really killing it that no one's talking about, Leo Rivas, batting 368. And again, you normally don't even have anybody, for the Mariners batting 300, and to have a few guys, including Dylan Moore, even though he's hurt, it shows you the depth that we have on this team. So even if pitching ends up not being top 3 like in years past, well, where did that get us? Top 3 pitching and bottom in hitting. Number 1 in strikeouts. It's hard to be able to make the playoffs. And the crazy thing is the Mariners only missed the playoffs by a game like in 3 out of the 4 years. So just imagine if you could just have a little bit more consistency, getting to 88 to 90 wins and winning the division should be a reality, right? And Ryland Thomas grounds out to first, 1 away. But again, if this team can keep rolling, it is possible that maybe the Mariners could, not saying that they will, but they could, if they continue this hot streak, maybe they can actually get to 95 to 100 wins. I mean, if the Mariners get to 162, 100 wins, 62 losses, that would be incredible. But again, we got a long ways to go before that happens. Next up is J.P. Crawford. First pitch, right down the middle with the changeup. 0-1 count from Severino to J.P. Crawford. 1 for 1 with a run and a base on ball. The guy that sets the tone, who was our leadoff hitter for years, but then we got Victor Robles and he took his spot. He had his ego bruised a little bit being the 9 hitter, but he's definitely rebounded back. And J.P. Crawford flies out to right. Damn it. 2 away. Connected pretty hard on that hit. That's a good sign for later in the game. Next up, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI, DHing Jorge Polanco. Let's go Polo. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. I mean, imagine right now if we were down 2-0. You know, Bryce would, the confidence would start taking a toll, you know, thinking like, uh-oh, I'm going to be down now 3-0 or 4-0. So, you need to be able to help your pitchers out, especially when we have Emerson Hancock on the mound tomorrow. Who knows how the hell that will go? He'll give up, 3 runs or less. That's ideal, but he could give up 4 to 6. And then we would have to score to match that, in which we have been able to do this year. And then, the rubber match will be Brian Wu. And we know that we can definitely win that. He's our best. First pitch from Severino to Polo. Low and away with the sweeper. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Outside again. 2-0 count. 2-0 pitch. Grounded to the pitcher. Throw to first. And that is the end of the top of the 4th. Nothing from Polo there, but the damage was already done. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning with a 4-2 Seattle lead. Let's see who's next up here for the Athletics. Next up for the Athletics, 0 for 1, catcher Shea Langeliers. Batting second, 1 for 1 with a run, center fielder J.J. Bleday. And batting third, 1 for 1 with an RBI, shortstop Jacob Wilson. Let's go. Natman in the building. What's good? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We got about 50 people in the room. We have 31 likes. We need 9 more to get to 40. So if you are in the room and haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help your boy out. And we're at 5, 95 to go on the Dono train. Anything you want to be able to see, Cole, and I got you. I mean, I've been watching this team every single year since the 80s, and like I said, the only team that this team reminds me of is the 2001 team. And it's not like we're going to get to 116 wins, but just the pure fact of like everyone being able to hit in the order, even like lower name guys like Brett Boone, who actually just took a job to be the Rangers batting instructor and hitting coach over there, which is a little weird. But even like role players like that, Ichiro was fantastic. That was after we obviously let Griffey go to the Reds, and top to bottom, we had plenty of amazing hitters, but even it's like those lower, end guys. Brett Boone is kind of like the Dylan Moore. You don't really expect a whole lot from guys like that, but when they produce, it really takes your team to that next level. Okay. First pitch to Langeliers, low and away, 1-0 count. Takes a strike looking on the 1-0 pitch right on the line from Bryce. 1 ball and 1 strike from Miller to Langeliers. 1-1 pitch, high and tight, fouled off, 94 miles an hour with the 4-seam fastball. Pitch fouled off on a 4-seam fastball by Langeliers. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Miller to Shea Langeliers. In play, back. See ya! Shea Langeliers, solo dinger. This is going to be a tough series. 4-3 A's. Wow. And again, if you leave it right down the pipe for Shea, he will crush it, just like in this photo. What an electric shot. Now we're only up by a run. Next up, center fielder J.J. Bleday. And obviously with Oscar's photos, they're hard to be able to pull up. Most of them get rejected, but let's see if I can get at least a couple here for you. First pitch from Miller to Bleday. Outside, 0-1 count. Now, I don't know what it is, man, but the system does not like F1 photos for whatever reason. I'll see if I can get you a couple more after that. 0-1 pitch. Takes a strike swinging, high and away. Behind in the count now, 0-2 from Miller to Bleday. Pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Miller to Bleday. Down goes Bleday. Next up, shortstop Jacob Wilson. 1 for 1 with an RBI. Wind will be a factor here today, no doubt about that. First pitch, low and away from Miller to Wilson with the sinker. 1-0 count. So I got a nice crispy one there for you. J.J. Bleday going down with that splitter. I like that, baby. You know, when Bryce gets one of his, first strikeouts this late, obviously not a very good sign, but. Pitch fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Miller to Jacob Wilson. Bottom of the 4th with 1 out. 4-3 Mariner lead. And again, it's going to be a battle this series. The Athletics, when's the last time that anyone has seen them above 500? And not only that, it's not like they're up above 500 by a game. They're 19-16. They're a good team this year. Pitch with the sweeper. Low and away, fouled off by Jacob Wilson. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes from Miller to Wilson. Pitch is low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Bryce Miller to Jacob Wilson. Come on, Bryce. Wake up, baby. Stop the bleeding. Pitch right down the pipe, fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Miller to Wilson. Thank God we had that 4-run inning. Bottom of the 4th, 4-3 Mariners with 1 out. Miller on the mound has been very shaky, not what we're used to, as one of our guys, and normally he's going to be a 4 or a 5 with him and Castillo, but Castillo has been much better this year than in the previous 2 years. It almost makes me feel like this is the Luis Castillo from 2022 when we got him from the Reds that helped us make the playoffs. Pitch is high and inside, fouled off. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miller and Wilson are just battling here. 8 pitches in at this at-bat. Got to find a way to get out of this. Sinker, foul off. God, he is just grinding this out out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch, in play with the knuckle curve. Grounded out to second, throw to first. Got him. There we go, baby. 2 away. We needed that desperately. We could not have had that lead to a walk or a big hit. That would have been definitely, that would have definitely got to Bryce, you could tell. Next up, first baseman Nick Kurtz. First pitch, high and away on the line, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count with that slider, 86 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Kurtz in the box, Bryce Miller on the mound. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike with that knuckle curve. Come on, baby. In play on the 1-1 pitch, and Kurtz singled to center. Nice hit there by Nick. Next up, second baseman, the former Mariner, Luis Urias. First pitch, fouled off right down the pipe, 0-1 count. Bottom of the 4th, runner at first with 2 outs. We need a force out at second, or a pop-up or a strikeout. We just got to get out of this inning, still with a 1-run lead, and then hopefully in the top of the 5th, we can add to it. And then once Severino and Miller go out, we'll find out what bullpen is playing better out of the 2. And hopefully we have the right guys in. The last thing that we need is bringing in Trent Thornton and have him give up like a 3-run homer. Because if that happens, we're going to lose today. So hopefully whoever they choose to bring in, Legumina, Vargas, Matt Brash, Spire, whoever, hopefully it's the right guy. And they're on today. 0-1 pitch, low and away with the knuckle curve. 1 ball and 1 strike from Miller to Urias. And they got Vargas warming up. So you got Vargas, Legumina, Bizzardo, Trent Thornton. Man, I just really don't trust any of those guys. I trust Gabe. I trust Matt Brash. I trust Munoz. That's it. I don't really trust anybody else, at least in the pen. In play on the 1-1 pitch. And Urias singled to center, Kurtz to third. Come on, Bryce. Bryce is looking like Emerson Hancock and Logan Evans. He's looking like a AAA, pitcher. But again, it's not that he just sucks. I know he's got a back issue. He's just not bitching about it. He's just trying to fight through it. But this is not the Bryce that we're used to. Bryce looks like a AAA pitcher. He does not look like a guy that should be pitching in the major leagues this year. Next up, right fielder Lawrence Butler. The way that this game is going, it might end up being a 7-6 game or 8-7 game, or who knows? It might end up being a 10-9 game. Once the guys go out starter-wise, if the pen stinks for both teams, we could end up having a high-scoring affair here. But, again, not a whole lot of trust with Evans or Miller or Hancock. We have all our faith and trust, obviously, in Brian Wu. We trust Logan Gilbert, but he's injured right now. I know we're going to be able to trust Kirby when he's back. He's just getting some, starts, obviously, in the farm and AAA with the Tacoma Rainiers before he's ready. But, again, Hancock's on the mound tomorrow, and then we have Wu. So, got to win today. And, we'll see what happens tomorrow. We're going to have to score probably 5-10 tomorrow to win. And then we got Wu on the bump, obviously, on the rubber match. And, Wu is the most trustworthy guy that we got. And we need to keep him rolling. First pitch from Miller to Butler, 5 feet off the plate, high and away with the cutter, 1-0 count. .246 average from Lawrence Butler, but he'll be creeping around 280 to 300 at some point. And Butler in play, reached on an infield single. Kurt scores, and we're knotted up at 4. Fucking A, Bryce. Imagine if we didn't have that 4-run inning. We'd be down 4-0 right now, and the game would probably be over. Next up, DHing Brent Rooker. Got to stop the bleeding. And I know they want him to go 6 innings, but holy hell, how many runs are you going to give up before we have to pull him? Fuck. And Rooker in play. Thank God. Flies out to right. The bleeding stops, and we're knotted up at 4. They're probably going to have Bryce go out there in the 5th, and then we'll see how he fucks up then, and then they'll pull him. But they're not going to pull him now. Our bullpen is so shaky as it is that if we bring someone in, they're going to do exactly what Bryce is doing, or maybe fucking worse, like giving up home runs. So again, we're going to have to try to go one more inning, see if he gets through that inning or not, and then we'll kind of go from there. But I don't like being tied at 4-4, but it's a lot better than being down 4-0. And based on what we saw in the Ranger game, in the previous game, I think we'll take this. We don't like what we're seeing out of Bryce, but at least the bats are alive today. The bats were ice cold in that last game against the Rangers when we tried to sweep them, and they beat our ass, and Logan Evans did not look good. Bryce does not look good, and again, Emerson Hancock is tomorrow. So you have to assume when Evans, Miller, and Hancock are on the mound, they're going to give up 4 to 5 runs or more. So you got to produce in the box or you're fucked. When Wu is on the mound with Castillo, we feel that they can hold them to most of the time 3 runs or less, and we can put up 5, 6 or more. So hopefully we can find a way. But here's our chance. Let's go to the top of the 5th inning. It makes for a fun game for both fan bases, right? Knotted up at 4. You don't know how it's going to go. Let's see who's up next for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2. Don't swing on the fucking first pitch. Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. You don't have to play hero ball. I mean, how's that working for you? You're like literally one of the worst batting averages as the starter, and you're like a superstar type of player. Be better. Batting second, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. We could love, a torpedo bat homer in this game. We definitely need it. And batting third, first baseman, who's actually been pretty clutch as of late, Rowdy Tellez. Really, it started in that Blue Jay series on the road where he hit the solo dinger and the grand salami. But before that, when your batting average is .50 to 100, he was going to get set down for Tyler Locklear, who we've seen a little bit in 2024, but got hot at the right time and has made some clutch RBIs and homers to keep his job at first base. First pitch from Severino to Julio makes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. High and inside with the sinker, 1 ball and 1 strike from Severino to Julio. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes from Severino to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. Well, A's are good this year. Again, they're 19-16, and just a couple days ago, within the last 11 games, they were the only team that tied the Mariners with a 9-2 record. So, the Athletics can beat up the Angels, and they can match up against the Astros and the Rangers very well, especially when you got guys, at the top of the order like Lawrence Butler, Brent Rooker, and Tyler Soderstrom. Those are actually one of the best 1-2-3s in the league. So, again, they just need, pitching to, be well, and they need some good run support and some good hits, from, obviously the hitters 4 through 9. Pitches outside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Severino to Julio. Astros aren't the same without Bregman and Kyle Tucker. The Rangers, don't really feel like they have the same type of swagger as they did in years past. Angels are just goddamn terrible. And back. Julio flies out to right. Damn it. 1 away. I mean, he's connecting deep, but, I would rather have him go for singles than home run shots every at-bat. Next up, big dumper, 0 for 1 with a base on ball and a K. Big dumper catcher, Cal Raleigh, leading the league in homers with 12. Can he get 13? Trident's up. Let's go. First pitch, 10 feet off the plate, 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking with a sweeper. 1 ball and 1 strike from Severino to big dumper Cal Raleigh. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off with the cutter. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Severino to big dumper. And Luis coming into the matchup 1-3 record with an ERA of 3.30. Bryce Miller 2-3 record, 3.52 ERA. Pretty similar. Not really what you would expect or want from your Bryce Miller or Luis Severino if you're a Mariner or Athletic fan, but hopefully it'll get better for both of those guys. Pitches inside with the sinker. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Severino to big dumper. Come on, Cal. Right hands up. Let's go. In play. And lined out to center field. 2 away. All right, come on, Rowdy. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI. And actually a guy that has been pretty reliable to get, singles and RBIs lately since that Toronto series, Rowdy Tellez. Come on, Rowdy. Let's go, baby. First pitch takes a strike looking on the line, 0-1 count. Top of the 5th, 4-4. Great game so far. Pitching has been a little wild for both, but again, the bats have come alive. 0-1 pitch takes another strike looking on the line. Now behind in the count, 0-2. Top of the 5th, 4-4, 2 outs, nobody on, and an 0-2 count from Severino to Rowdy Tellez. Come on, Rowdy. Pitching's 5 feet off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Severino to Tellez. Pitch outside again with the sweeper. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Severino to Rowdy Tellez. I know what we need. Pitch is inside at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We need all the good luck charms that we can get. We got the mini trident. We got the Mariner Moose. We got the Griffey bobble. Let's go, baby. Let's be electric. Take the walk if it's there. Don't get greedy. Top of the 5th, 4-4. We're tied up. And Rowdy Tellez. And they get out of it. Damn it. All right, let's go here to the bottom of the 5th inning and see who's up next for the Athletics. Next up for the Athletics here in the bottom of the 5th, 1 for 2, left fielder Tyler Soderstrom. Batting second, 0 for 1 with an RBI, third baseman Miguel Andujar. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI, catcher Shea Langeliers. Let's go, Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're trying to get to that 40 number. I know we're getting close. We're at 31. So if you are in the room and haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. It takes literally 1 second. We're at 31. 9 more to go to hit the goal to get to 40. And we're at 5 on the Dono train. 95 to go to hit goal. And Bryce Miller's day is done, and they're going to bring in Carlos Vargas. So they don't trust Bryce, and I understand why. 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, no walks, 1 K, and 94 pitches. Terrible outing out of Bryce, but luckily we were able to get 4 runs, in that particular 3rd inning to actually give us a chance to win this game. Thank God the bats came alive. And I don't trust Vargas, but I guess it can't get any worse than what we saw with Bryce. So hopefully it works out. Come on, baby. We need all the luck that we can get, baby. Let's go. Come on, baby. Come on, Carlos. Don't let us down. Can't get any worse than what we already saw. First pitch, high and away with the sinker, 1-0 count from Vargas to Soderstrom. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike swinging, low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike from Vargas to Soderstrom. Come on, baby. 1-1 pitch, inside at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Vargas to Soderstrom. Bottom of the 5th, we're knotted up at 4, and hopefully Carlos will hold it down. Come on, Carlos. Let's go, baby. Takes a strike looking in the zone, inside, high and tight. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Vargas to Soderstrom. 2-2 pitch, fouled off, low and away with that sinker. 98 miles an hour. Man, Vargas has got some real heat on his pitches. Bottom of the 5th, 4-4, Mariners and A's. Vargas on the mound for Bryce Miller, who was not good today, dealing with a back issue, and it shows. Soderstrom in the box. Nobody on with no outs. 2-2 count from Vargas to Soderstrom. And got him! There we go. It's always good when you can get a punch out early. You know, it's like Bryce had to wait a long time before he got his first one and only got one. There we go. Down goes Soderstrom. Next up, third baseman, 0 for 1 with an RBI, Miguel Andujar. Where am I from? The Pacific Northwest. I live in Oregon. In play with a sinker and grounded out to second. Throw to first. Got him. 2 away. Next up, catcher, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI, Shea Langeliers. Let's go, M's. Pitch inside with the sinker at the knees. 1-0 count from Vargas to Langeliers. And Vargas already looks 1,000 times better, early on than what we were seeing out of Bryce. But I mean, anyone that ever has back spasms like Ben Williamson had, or if you have lingering upper or lower back issues with soreness, it can really derail your day. Imagine being a pitcher too. You wouldn't be able to really give your full strength and follow through, especially if you got that lingering back issue. Hopefully it'll get fixed. I wonder if he'll have to have surgery on it, later after the season is over, but hopefully not. Takes a strike looking with the sinker. 2 balls and 1 strike from Carlos Vargas to Shea Langeliers. We're knotted up at 4 here in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs. Bryce Miller been very shaky, but as long as the bats come alive, we had a nice 4-run 3rd inning when we were down 2-0 to take a 4-2 lead, but the Athletics are feisty this year. And don't be surprised if the Mariners and the Athletics actually make the playoffs this year. We've seen plenty of the Astros and the Rangers. I mean, time for something new, right? Time for the Cubs to make it, the Tigers to make it, the Giants to make it, the A's in Seattle to make it, And you're starting to see some of those teams that normally aren't the greatest teams, they're kind of mid, kind of take that next step. Takes a strike looking with the sinker. 2 balls and 1 strike from Vargas to Langeliers. There we go. Nice out there by Julio. I like that. All right, let's go to the top of the 6th inning, baby. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it can't be any worse than what we ended up getting from, obviously Bryce Miller. So we'll see where it goes. Tough schedule for the Athletics. They got these 2 games here with Seattle after today, a day off on Thursday. Then they got the Yankees after that. Man, it doesn't get any easier for them. Next up is Miles Mastrobuoni. Takes a ball in that first pitch, 1-0 count. Let's go, Miles. High and away, called strike, should have been a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here in the top of the 6th with a 4-4 game. Come on, Miles. And Mastrobuoni with a little dribbler, throw to first, 1 away. Next up, third baseman, Ben Williamson. Come on, Big Ben. First pitch to Ben, outside. Low and away, 1-0 count. Yeah, I mean, once we get Gilbert and Kirby back, and if they can stay healthy, and then Brash can continue to be, great after Tommy John. And then eventually we can get, Troy Taylor back up to speed like where he was at the end of last year and actually be reliable, not a liability. Things will start looking better. We're going to get Demo back pretty soon as well. We know that Rayleigh is out for an extended period of time, as well as Victor Robles and Ryan Bliss. So you're not going to see Bliss or Robles or Luke Rayleigh for a little bit, but Dylan Moore will be back, and Dylan was doing great. Again, he was like our utility guy, kind of like a Kike Hernandez or like a Taysom Hill, so to speak. That a guy that can pretty much do everything: play second, play short, play third, play left field, center field, right field. Really, the only 2 positions that Dylan can't play are catcher and first. But I would love for him to try to play first, because that would give us an extra bat that might be a little bit more reliable than a guy like Rowdy. Throw to first, 2 away. Next up is second baseman Leo Rivas. I feel that, we got the Blue Jays at home, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we always are up for a challenge. And we know how that series went, with Rowdy Tellez, with the solo dinger and the grand salami. So nobody's sweeping anybody in that series. But again, you have to get off to a good start, unless you end up doing what the Mariners did in the beginning of the year, where we lost the first game and then we won the last 2. But recently we've been able to win the first game and the second game and maybe lose that third game. But Severino with the punch out there, and they were trying to decide if they wanted to keep him there or not. And let's see who's up next year for the Athletics. Next up for the A's, center fielder J.J. Bleday. On deck will be shortstop Jacob Wilson, and batting third, first baseman Nick Kurtz. Let's go Mariners. And then right after we're done, playing the Blue Jays in a tough set, it's not going to get any fucking easier. One of the funnest series to be able to call and watch. We go against the Yankees at home after the Blue Jays. So obviously we need to win 2 out of 3 here, right? We need to win 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays, and then we got to try to win 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. So again, that's going to be easier said than done. But if our bats can come alive, and again, we are going to be getting Logan Gilbert and George Kirby back in the next couple weeks. So it may not help us necessarily in the Blue Jay Yankee series, but the sooner that we can get them back and back healthy, and then we won't have to worry about having Emerson Hancock and Logan Evans. And then maybe the only worry we have is Bryce Miller in the 5 spot. And then, we trust Wu, we trust Castillo, we trust Gilbert when he's healthy. And Kirby obviously is an all-star type of player, but he's had shoulder inflammation since spring training, so he may be a little off, in his first couple starts, but you never know. Obviously, and they have him, doing a little bit of assignment there for the Tacoma Rainiers, our AAA affiliate. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the way that the Mariners are playing this year, I mean, it's very unpredictable. I mean, this is the best hitting team we've had since 2001. And I would say, in 70 or 80% of the games, we're getting 4 to 10 runs, and sometimes we're even getting close to 15. But every once in a while, we're going to have a lower scoring affair like we did the last matchup against the Rangers, when we were trying to sweep them. But I have no idea how this game is going. I still feel that we can win this, but I mean, as far as final score, I mean, the final score could end up being something like 5-4, 6-4. It could end up being something like 10-8. It really just depends on the bullpen and how shitty they pitch. And Vargas is still out there. But I don't think I would cash out just yet. But you would need the Mariners to win by 2. There's a good chance of that happening, even though the score is 5-5 or 4-4, excuse me. 2 balls and 2 strikes to JJ Bleday from Carlos Vargas. Bottom of the 6th. Count now full for Vargas to JJ Bleday. ESPN, obviously the people that work there are lazy, so the ticker above is not updated. So I don't know if they have some kind of server issue there at ESPN, or someone ended up going to the bathroom and they're just lazy. But hopefully that'll be updated shortly as well. But I've been refreshing it, nonstop since the previous inning, but servers might be down over there. Yeah, Edgar Martinez has made a big difference in the roster. Seitzer as well as Ichiro. Ichiro has a home in Japan and a home in Seattle. And when he's in, the United States, you're going to typically see him at the ballpark helping out with the team in full uniform still. So we're very blessed to be able to have guys like that. And every once in a while, you'll even see Ken Griffey Jr. make an appearance. So, double play. Oh, almost got him at first. Jacob Wilson runs it out. Almost got a double play there by the Mariners. Nice throw by Rivas. Let's watch it again. Already had a pretty good jump there. Paused and hesitated. Fluid throw, but just couldn't get enough. But like I said, I've never seen a baseball team be like the worst hitting team in baseball. As a team, batting 180 to 200. Sometimes peaking at 220, number one strikeout team, and we were just terrible. And then to go from that to being like a top 3, top 4 overall hitting team, and in the last month, the number one team in baseball, that is pretty wild. To really think of that we've been able to, like, if you would have told me that we would be a top 3 or 4 hitting team in 2 to 5 years, then I would be like, wow, that would be great, but to do it in literally 1 year is definitely unheard of. Also, the torpedo bat has helped us as well for a couple of our guys. Bottom of the 6th with 2 outs, runner at first. Next up is Luis Urias, former Mariner. But the Mariners MLB ranked since April 9th, going into a couple games back. Obviously 15-4 record. This was from a couple days ago on May 3rd. But 15-4 record at that time first, 128 runs first, 35 homers first, average for a team 275 first, OBP 367 first, and 850 OPS first. And that's out of everyone, not just American League, but National League. So we're hitting literally the best out of any team in the last month. I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card this year, but that's the difference with Edgar, Seitzer, and Ichiro, Griffey, and even Randy Johnson, coming in when he's not doing professional photography like Griffey and chiming in with some of the pitchers. It's a good luxury to have when you have 4 of the greatest players to ever put on cleat. And with Edgar Martinez, Ichiro, Griffey, and Randy Johnson giving their input and advice, that definitely is a good connection that Dan Wilson is using. Got a ball on the field there that they need to retrieve. Bottom of the 6th, runner at first with 2 outs, 1-2 count. ESPN servers, you're like $1 billion company. Why isn't your shit working? I mean, it depends on, where you're at money-wise. If you're struggling for money, then just cash out, But again, if you're not struggling for money, I would stay pat and wait to see how things go. I mean, again, Mariners could win by 2. Mariners could lose by 2. But again, there's a long way. We're only halfway through the game. So a lot could happen between now and then. But if you're desperate for money, cash out. But I wouldn't be shocked if we end up winning this by more than 2 runs. But also, too, it could end up being us winning by 1 run, and then you lose anyways. So, that'll be a personal call for you. But it sounds like you're a little desperate for money, so I would cash out. Pitch fouled off by Urias. Vargas on the mound. We're knotted up at 4 in the bottom of the 6th. Runner at first. 2-2 count. Pitch is outside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And chop foul. Little dribbler, fuck. And Wilson goes to third. Now you got runners on the corners with 2 outs. Come on, Mariners. And the former Mariner doing damage. Luis Urias. Now we're back at the top of the order. We better be careful. Next up, right fielder Lawrence Butler. Come on, Carlos. All right, we got a mound visit now with Woodworth and Cal and Vargas and company meeting on the mound. Runners on the corners at first and third with 2 outs. We got Colin Snyder and another pitcher there warming up at some point. ESPN server still down. I mean, how can you be a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company and not even have your shit work? Ridiculous. I mean, it's bad enough where all the shows on the network are terrible. No one wants to see people that don't know sports or think they know sports argue over things that will never happen, like the Cowboys winning the World Series, you know, and then arguing about it for an hour. No one cares. Big swing and a miss from Vargas to Lawrence Butler. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners on the corners at first and third. We're knotted up at 4. We need Vargas to get us out of this inning. And ESPN, get your servers working. We're in the bottom of the 6th, not in the bottom of the 5th. But I guess when servers go down, what can you do? 1 for 3 with an RBI single in the 4th. 4 more likes to 40. Let's get there. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 40 and then maybe 50. We got 50 in the room. Pitch. Fouled off towards first base. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. We got Colin Snyder warming up in the pen. And popped up into right field. There we go. And we get out of the inning. Let's see who's up next for the Mariners. I mean, I got a link that I can give you to watch the game if you are having an issue with it. Let me see if my link works. Yeah, my link works if you want it for the Thunder game. All right, let's go to the top of the 7th inning. Let's go, baby. Next up for the Mariners, right fielder Ryland Thomas. On deck, shortstop J.P. Crawford. And batting third, Jorge Polanco. They got Holman coming in for Severino. First pitch. 4-seam fastball out of the zone, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Called strike right down the middle with the splitter, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch from Holman to Ryland Thomas, fouled off right down the pipe. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Holman to Ryland Thomas. 4-seam fastball. Inside, almost hits him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In play, and he is out. Damn it, Ryland. Ryland Thomas grounds out to shortstop Jacob Wilson to first base, and it hurts. 1 away. Next up, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. Let's go, baby. And J.P. Crawford singles off a sharp line drive to right fielder Lawrence Butler, baby. Nice job, J.P. Next up is Jorge Polanco. First pitch, called strike on a four-seam fastball. 0-1 count. Come on, Polo. Polanco grounds out into a double play to Nick Kurtz to shortstop Jacob Wilson. Brutal. And ESPN servers are going wacky. Now they've taken away a run for the Athletics when the game is 4-4. Come on, ESPN, get your shit together. Their servers went down for a long time. Well, big double play there. Not ideal, and hopefully things will get refreshed here. At least they're on the right inning now. All right, they're going to bring in Colin Snyder. All right, come on, Colin. Snyder coming in for Carlos Vargas. Next up will be Brent Rooker. On deck, Tyler Soderstrom, and batting third this inning, third baseman Miguel Andujar. First pitch to Rooker, high and outside. 1-0 count. Four-seam fastball fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike swinging. 1-2 count, 1 ball and 2 strikes from Snyder to Rooker. Pitch is low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Snyder to Rooker. Pitch on the 2-2, fouled off with the cutter. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes from Snyder to Rooker. And Rooker doubles on a sharp line drive The left fielder, Miles Mastrobuoni. Nice hit. Next up is Tyler Soderstrom. Come on, Colin. We got a mound visit. Funny too when you get people that only come here for parlays or asking me for advice, and then if they win, it's not like they ever give back. So most of those people are not a fit for this channel. So I mean, if you keep asking me if you're going to be able to hit your parlay over and over and over every one inning, you know, you're desperate. You know, like if you need to cash out that bad and you're asking me over and over and over, then maybe you shouldn't be, you know, betting baseball. You know, if you lose $60, you know, thinking that you're going to win 500, guess what? You're not going to win. So. First pitch, low and at the knees. Right in the bottom of the zone for Snyder, 0-1 count. Pitch fouled off. With the sweeper, behind in the count now, 0-2. Come on, Snyder. Yeah, I think the ticker above, I mean, it's got us in the bottom of the seventh, but as far as the correct batter, and you know, they haven't refreshed that. That still is still fucked up or whatever. But at least they got the correct inning up above. We're in the bottom of the seventh, but MLB.com is on. But and Soderstrom hit by pitch. Fuck. Runners now at first and second. With no outs. This is not good. Pull Colin Snyder, you suck. I mean, there's only so much that Cal Raleigh can do. Next up is third baseman Miguel Andujar. First pitch. Four-seam fastball in the zone called strike, 0-1 count. But I haven't seen ESPN be frozen for usually no longer than a couple minutes. But you know, based off the ticker above, it was frozen for a couple innings, so obviously they're having some issues with their servers there. Pitch is low and away with the cutter. 1 ball and 1 strike from Snyder to Andujar. We're in the bottom of the seventh with runners at first and second with no out. So this could definitely be a very critical point in the game if we don't get out of this inning unscathed. Pitch fouled off with the cutter. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners at first and second with no out. We need a double play bad. Two more likes to 40. Let's get there, baby. In play. And Miguel Andujar flies out to center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Brent Rooker to third. 1 away. Next up, 1 for 3 with a home run, RBI, and a run. Shea Langoliers. Runners on the corners with 1 out. We need a double play. We need a slow dribbler to Rivas or JP and a throw to first to get out of this fucking inning. Come on, baby. First pitch called strike in the zone. 0-1 count from Snyder to Langoliers. And Langoliers out on a sac fly to Ryland Thomas. Brent Rooker scores. Brutal, 5-4 Athletics. And obviously ESPN is still obviously down. Hopefully they'll update at least the numbers there. But their whole server is fucked. They still got on their MLB game page with Vargas still pitching, with Langoliers back from a couple innings ago. Next up is JJ Bleday. First pitch fouled off with a runner at first. 0-1 count. All right, there we go. They finally updated it. Pitch fouled off with a cutter. 0-2 count. Come on, baby. Snyder on the mound. JJ Bleday in the box. Pitches low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes in the dirt from Snyder to JJ Bleday. Now we're down a run, and hopefully we can find a way to tie it up and take the lead. You know, we're going to have 2 innings to do it. Matt in the building. What's good, bro? Pitcher stepped off. Pitches high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs with a runner at first. Come on, Snyder. If we have any chance of winning this game, we need to keep it at 1. You know, I know that we have a chance to be able to rally and get, 1 to 5 runs in any fucking inning, but you don't want to get down 2, with 2 innings to go. You get down by 1, then you have 2 innings to get 1. Just to see if you can go to extra innings if you have to win that way. And I don't think any Mariner fan will complain if we win 6-5 in 10 innings. Cutter fouled off right down the pipe. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, runner at first. And you just need 1 more out. Come on, Snyder. Yeah, well, it sounds like if it's that bad, you need to find a new job where you can actually be around people that you like. Pitches low and away with the sweeper. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes from Snyder to JJ Bleday. Let's not have this game get opened up here. We still want to have a good chance to win this, and I had a strong feeling that I knew this was going to be a tougher series than the Rangers or the Blue Jays. This will be the toughest series until we play the Yankees. Not to say that the Blue Jays, can't sweep us or win 2 out of 3. They can, but the way that we've been playing lately, I like our chances against anybody. JJ Bleday lines out to the second baseman, Leo Rivas, and we get out of the inning. Nice job, Leo. Thank God. All right, let's go to the top of the 8th, and we're down a run. All right, due up for the Mariners, 0 for 3, and this is unacceptable. Again, you're always going for fucking moonshots, and yeah, when you get one, it's great, but all of these games where you just are so greedy to try to go for home run swings every time, this is a game where we need you, and we don't even need you to get a home run. Just get fucking on base. 0 for 3, Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And batting third, 1 for 3, with a double K and an RBI, Rowdy Tellez. Come on, Julio, wake the fuck up. We paid you all that money. Again, I don't know what we need to say or do for you to change, but I'm getting a little sick and tired of seeing you hovering around 200. I mean, what's next? You're going to get your batting average down to 150? Is that what we need? Is that what's going to happen? We know that you're a good defender. but you're not able to get on base, so you're not stealing bags, so that aspect of your game is gone. You can still make some good grabs in the outfield, but you're not a really big asset on this team this year. You're kind of a liability. Like, hell, even when Mitch Garver gets up into the box, I got more confidence in him. Now, maybe I got more confidence in Julio than like Donovan Solano, but that's not really saying that much because he's our worst player. But other than that, I think I trust almost everyone else other than Julio when he's in the box. And for a guy that's supposed to be, eventually a top 10 player based off his popularity, you might be top 10 popular, but you sure as hell aren't a top 10 player. And Julio pops out to the first baseman, Nick Kurtz, 0 for 4 day. Good job, Julio. And it's crazy, too, because statistically, he's actually having, as far as the beginning of the year, he's actually doing better than he had been doing in previous years. But compared to everyone else on the roster, you're one of the worst. And hopefully that will change as we get into the warmer weather. But frustrating. Next up, 0 for 2, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. First pitch to Cal. Outside, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, outside again with a 4-seam fastball, 2-0 count. Come on, big dumper. I mean, it's like I got Julio jerseys, I got Julio's autograph, I got Julio's, rookie card auto graded on a couple of them. So, I'm a Julio guy, But again, it's like, after a while, you got to call a spade, right? 3-1 count now from Holman to Raleigh, and I know Julio was great, obviously in 2022, but Cal was, and he got overshadowed. But Cal is much more important to this team than Julio Rodriguez. And Cal Raleigh forces the walk. Thank God, because we get somebody on base. Nice job, Cal. And I know for a longest time, everyone wanted to say this is Julio's team, but this is whose team it really is, Cal Raleigh. Next up is Rowdy Tellez. First pitch high and away, 1-0 count to Rowdy Tellez. But every year Julio starts off kind of slow, and then eventually he'll get close to 300, like 280 to 300, and he might end up even having a month where he hits 10 homers in a month. But again, we haven't seen Julio. He's got more home runs than he did at this point last year. But again, it's like for a guy to hit a home run every 5th, 6th, 7th game and then pretty much give you almost nothing in between that period. Like every once in a while, he'll give you a couple singles, but he really hasn't been an impactful player on the Mariners this year, which makes it that much more impressive that we're kicking ass, taking names, and Julio's not even one of the factors. So just imagine when he is. Takes a strike swinging. 2 balls and 1 strike from Holman to Tellez. Runner at first with 1 out. Holman on the mound. Rowdy Tellez in the box. Come on, Rowdy. And Tellez singles on a soft ground ball to third baseman. Max Schumann, baby. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Runners at first and second with 1 out. This could be the inning where we win. Let's go. Next up, Miles Mastrobuoni. Even I have more trust in Miles than Julio. That's crazy. Like everyone in the lineup is more trustworthy than Julio. Literally. Hell, even Ryland Thomas as a new guy. Like, you shouldn't have to feel that a guy that's brand new from AAA has a better chance of getting on base than a potential superstar in Julio Rodriguez, but that's where we're at. Maybe Julio needs to use the torpedo bat and not have such an ego. Watch some film. Actually take the time with Edgar and Ichiro and Seitzer and really actually care instead of just having this ego that I'm Julio Rodriguez and things are just going to get better. I mean, we've seen the shit for the last 3 to 4 years. Holman on the mound, Mastrobuoni in the box. An offensive substitution, pinch runner Samad Taylor replaces Rowdy, which is a good decision. Rowdy ain't the fastest of them all. First pitch, low and away with the ball, with the splitter, 1-0 count. Here we go. And Rowdy will always take a walk as well. Well, last year, what fucked him up was his girlfriend, and like girlfriend cheated on him and he broke up and he was fucking miserable. And you can tell, and it's not like I really follow what's going on in people's lives, but obviously if you follow a guy on social media, through like Instagram or Twitter/X or Facebook, shit comes out, and I feel that was a part of it too. It's like when, Brady and Giselle broke up, it was a tough time, even though Brady fought through it. But Julio, not so much. Pitch right down the middle, fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Runners at first and second. Mastroboni in the box. 1 for 3 with a K and an RBI. If we could get Mastroboni to drop a butt down towards the first baseline, everyone would be safe. But that would be pretty risky here. But also, Julio hasn't learned that people pitch him shitty. And Mastroboni strikes out swinging 2 away. Like, pitchers back in the first couple of years would throw right down the middle. So Julio would swing and think he could get home runs and singles and doubles, and he did. But now pitchers know that Julio will swing at anything, thinking it's going to be a strike down the middle, getting ahead of the count. But instead, the pitchers are throwing garbage outside, and he's chasing. Then he gets a good pitch right down the middle, fouls it off, and then you're 0-2 count, and then you're fucked. And then ends up leading to a strikeout or pop-up or ground out and a wasted at-bat with typically 2 or 3 pitches. Hard to get into a rhythm when you're out in the first 3 pitches almost every at-bat. Facts. Next up is Ben Williamson. Can you be the hero? First pitch, low and away, 1-0 count. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. We only have 2 opportunities left. We're down by a run. Let's go, Big Ben. And really, this is the guy that turned the team around with this guy right here, J.P. Crawford, as well as Dylan Moore. Polo's been great. Cal Raleigh's been great. But sometimes it's about the other role players adding on to your 2 best in Polo and Big Dumper. Let's go. In play. Yes! Let's go. Williamson singles a fly ball to right fielder Lawrence Butler. Cal Raleigh scores. Samad Taylor to third. And we're knotted up at 5. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Man, the Mariners are fucking clutch. Pitching has been absolutely horrendous. Next up is Leo Rivas. Nice job, Big Ben. And again, you've been amazing. It's the best third baseman we've had since Eugenio Suarez. Ben Williamson will be our third baseman probably for the next 10 years. And again, to be able to solidify a position like third, which is not easy to do, look at that. He's a great hitter. He's got great baseball IQ. And he's got a laser of an arm at third. And again, we miss good vibes only. We all love Eugenio Suarez. There is no Mariner fan that will say, oh, Eugenio Suarez, I don't give a shit about him. Everyone likes him. And we root for him. But again, it's the Ben Williamson era now. Now we got runners at first and third with 2 outs. And let's see what we can do here. Now we got Spence in the game replacing Grant Holman. Thank you for fucking up Holman. And let's see if Leo Rivas can add on a little bit more. Can we take the lead here? In the top of the 8th, we're knotted up at 5. This team is a lot of fun to watch. Let's go, Leo. Bring that electricity out. Nice job, Big Ben. Go, baby. I mean, this is definitely a game that we could have let slip through our fingers, but remember, we got Emerson Hancock on the mound tomorrow, which could be terrible, right? We haven't had a good, outing from our staff. Last game against the Rangers, Logan Evans, he looked like shit. We have Bryce Miller, back issues, looks like shit. He looked like shit all year. I think we can, safe to say that's true. Emerson Hancock, first game that he pitched this year, he gave up 6 runs in the first inning, got sent down to fucking AAA, to the Tacoma Rainiers. His ERA was fucking 81. Now he's been able to get that to a reasonable number, at this point, and hopefully it'll get down under 5 sooner than later. We have him on the bump tomorrow, but then we got Brian Wu on the rubber match on Wednesday. So we better find a way to win this here tonight, and then obviously we'll see what happens tomorrow. Fingers crossed, because you got to think Hancock will probably give up 3 to 5. 3 or less would be great, but realistically, unless he pitches well, it'll probably be 4, 5, or 6. And then we just need the bats to be able to match. And then obviously with Wu on the mound, we know that, against the Rangers on my birthday, he had a one-hitter. So I'm not saying that he's going to get a one-hitter on the A's because they're a good team this year, but I like our chances in that matchup. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. We knotted up at 5. This team is tough. Spence on the mound. Rivas in the box. First pitch on the corner with a swinging strike, 0-1 count. Come on, Rivas. Takes another strike swinging. Right now in the count 0-2. Come on, Leo. Wow, ESPN server still crashed. Still not updated. Pitching into the dirt with the curveball there. Wild pitch by Spence. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners on the corners at first and third with 2 outs. Come on, Mariners. And Rivas flies out to center fielder J.J. Bleday. And that is it. At least we ended up tying up the game, and now we just have to find a way to win the game in the ninth. Next up for the Athletics here in the bottom of the 8th, 1 for 3 with an RBI, Jacob Wilson. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a run, first baseman Nick Kurtz. And batting third, 2 for 3, the former Mariner, Luis Urias. Let's go, Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Crazy. I haven't seen the ESPN servers be down this long ever before. They've been stuck since like the 6th inning, and they still haven't updated. Like on the ESPN page, it still has Vargas and Langoliers at bat. And at least they got the inning right at the top, and that's really what matters. But obviously it shows 2 outs, and there's no outs because they're stuck on that. So they can change the score, and they can change the inning, but obviously the out is frozen, and then the graphics down below are frozen. And I got it obviously on the broadcast and on MLB.com as well. And MLB.com is good. Oh, fuck. They're bringing in Trent Thornton. Oh, God. And, he's already given up like 4 or 5 homers, from the pen in this early season. Hopefully this is the good Trent or not, the bad Trent. Because if it's the bad Trent, we're going to lose right here. Hopefully he doesn't give up a homer. First pitch from Thornton to Wilson. Inside, 1-0 count. Don't fuck us, Trent. Trent should be in AAA. I don't even know what the hell he's doing on this fucking team. And Jacob Wilson grounds out to shortstop J.P. Crawford. To first baseman Donovan Solano, 1 away. There you go, Trent. Don't fuck up. Down goes Jacob Wilson. We like that. 1 away. Next up, first baseman Nick Kurtz, 1 for 3 with a run. First pitch from Thornton to Kurtz. Low and in the zone. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Outside with the four-seam fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Thornton to Kurtz. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. With 1 out, Thornton on the mound, Kurtz in the box. Come on, baby. Yeah, and you can never, people love to overreact on like game 1, if the underdog ends up winning. If it ends up being a 7-game series, I mean, it's nice to win the first game, but that doesn't mean that the team that wins as the underdog is going to go all the way or even win that particular series. So, obviously, it's going to be good for that, team to win on the road to steal one, but again, that's, far from, being completely done and over. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Thornton to Kurt. I mean, I still think we have a very good chance of getting the Thunder and the Celtics, in the championship. And we know the Cavs are the Cavs. They're a good rebounding and defensive team, but they haven't really gone on a deep run before. So obviously their inexperience may hold them back. And Kurtz lines out sharply to Julio Rodriguez, 2 away. Next up is Luis Urias, the former Mariner. And, and if the Nuggets end up beating the Thunder in a game, that's nice, but we'll see if, they can actually beat the Thunder, in a series before we're talking about the Nuggets going all the way, especially after firing their coach and their GM just a few weeks ago. First pitch right down the middle to Urias from Thornton. 4-seam fastball, 0-1 count. Teams at home choking a lot of times, is just one of those things where, maybe too cocky, thinking that we're at home and we're going to win. But again, if you don't box out, play defense, close out, rebound, make your free throws, sometimes that's what happens. And then you end up costing your team with a turnover late in the game, then you lose. So the game isn't lost right at the end. The game is lost within the first 3 quarters, setting the tone of the matchup. And pitch outside from Thornton to Urias. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Thornton to Urias here in the bottom of the 8th. We're knotted up at 5. Slider, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs and nobody on. Come on, Thornton, get out of the inning, baby. And Urias scores on a line drive. Singles on a line drive to Miles Mastrobuoni. Runner at first now. Come on, Thornton. Next up, right fielder Lawrence Butler. And it looks like ESPN is trying to get all of their stats refreshed. Now this is finally working for the first time in 3 innings. First pitch called strike right down the middle. 0-1 count from Thornton to Butler. Runner at first with 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th, we're knotted up at 5. We got to hold them to 5. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Thornton to Butler. Nice to see ESPN finally on track. It only took them fucking 30, 40 minutes. Pitches inside at the knees. 2-1 count from Thornton to Butler. Come on, Thornton, get out of this inning. Don't fuck us here. Pickoff attempt at first base. Thornton on the mound, Butler in the box. And Butler grounds out second baseman Leo Rivas to first baseman Donovan Solano. Got him. Let's go. All right, baby. Top of the 9th. This is where we win or, we end up being stuck at 5 and we go into extras and we find a way to win 6-5 at some point, whenever that may be. The 10th, the 11th, I don't know. But let's find a way. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a run, Rylan Thomas. Batting second, 2 for 3 with a base on ball, run, and a stolen bag, J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run, Jorge Polanco. Let's go Mariners. And they got Mason Miller, their amazing closer, just like with Andres Munoz on our end. So this may be tough. Mason Miller is not easy to handle. Appreciate it, man. Like I said, no one else is going to grind out, Mariner games. Like I said, I'm going to try to do 150 out of the 162, and I'll probably end up doing more. I'll probably end up doing like 155 out of 162. And the only reason that we would miss a Mariner game, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, something big like that. But other than that, we're going to be grinding them out. And again, this is the best team that we've had since 2001, and someone's got to represent the Mariners the right way. But I also like watching other teams, that we face as well. So it's not going to be just a, pro Mariners stream, shit on everyone else. We'll give love to the other team if they deserve it. So first pitch, high and outside to Rylan Thomas from Mason Miller, 1-0 count. Come on, Rylan. Top of the 9th. We're knotted up at 5. Let's find a way. Pitch fouled off with the four-seam fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike from Miller to Thomas. Big swing and a miss. Count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes from Miller to Thomas. Everybody. I mean, you don't watch baseball, Matt, so you wouldn't know, but Polo's been great. Cal Raleigh's been great. Dylan Moore has been great. J.P. Crawford has been great. Leo Rivas has been great. Ben Williamson has been great. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Miller to Thomas. You got to grind out these at-bats. Let's go. And Rylan Thomas flies out to center fielder J.J. Bleday. 1 away. Next up is J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. 2 for 3 with a base on ball, run, and a stolen bag. Come on, J.P. I mean, this is going to be tough against Mason Miller. It's the equivalent of Andres Munoz on the Athletics. And he is not an easy guy to get hits, let alone runs on. First pitch, high and inside. 1-0 count from Miller to Crawford. Yeah, and Miller can throw 98, 99, 100, 101 pretty easily. Pitch high and outside, 2-0 count from Miller to Crawford. Let's go, baby. Take the walk if we can get it. Just find a way to get on base. Big swing and a miss. 2-1 count from Miller to Crawford. My pup is in here now. She says, I miss you, Dad. Pitch high and away. 3-1 count. And now we have a batter timeout. Come on, JP, settle in, baby. Let's go. And JP Crawford walks. There we go. Hell yeah. Runner at first with 1 out. Next up is Jorge Polanco. Let's end this shit. Let's go, Polo. JP, you've done a magnificent job, baby. From going from the 9-hole to the 1-hole after the Robles injury. A lot better than having Julio lead off, let me tell you. All right, baby. Let's go. 5-5, top of the 9th, 1 out, runner at first, JP, 1 for 4 with an RBI run, and with 1 swing, Polo can end it. I mean, obviously the Athletics still have a chance to match, but first pitch at the knees with the slider, 1-0 count from Miller to Polo. Pitch. And Polo flies out to center fielder J.J. Bleday. He's been active. 2 away. All right, here we go. Here's a chance, man, for you to be a fucking hero. All right? You always try to go for that first pitch strike, you know, and sometimes you get homers and singles and doubles. But hell, anything would be great here. You're 0 for 4. Don't go 0 for 5. Tridents up. Be a fucking hero. Let's go, Julio. Be patient in the box for once in your life. First pitch, swinging strike way off the plate, just like usual on cue, 0-1 count. Would have been a ball if he was just patient, but he has no discipline. Terrible. And every starting pitcher knows they don't have to pitch a first pitch strike to get ahead of the count on Julio. He'll swing at anything. 0-1 pitch, outside with the slider. Surprised he didn't swing there. 1 ball and 1 strike from Miller to Julio. Come on, Julio. Come on, baby. 1-1 pitch outside with the 4-seam fastball. 101.3 miles an hour. Holy hell. Miller has got the heat. 2-1 count. Runner at first. JP, 2 outs. Julio in the box. Miller on the mound. Come on, baby. Pitches outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, but the simple fact that all the other players are stepping up, I mean, the money really doesn't matter, because if we would have waited later, then it would have been a higher money amount. And it's better that you paid him when you did, so that we'll see where he is in the next few years. So big swing and a miss there by Julio. Now the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. What are the chances that Julio is patient and doesn't swing here and takes a walk? Probably not very likely, but let's see what happens here. And we have a batter timeout. Top of the 9th, 5-5, JP at first, 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes, count full. Miller on the mound, who's a stud. Julio 0 for 4 today. Terrible. Can you go 1 for 5 at least? Come on, J-Rod. And there it is, Julio with a walk. And again, you know, sometimes just not swinging is your best friend. And there we go, runners at first and second. And guess who it is? Julio, you did your job. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh, leading the major leagues in homers with 12. Can he win the game for us here? And we have a mound visit, obviously, with Miller and Shea Langoliers. They got to be able to decide how they want to pitch to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Using the torpedo bat. Let's go. Tridents up, baby. Let's go. Get contact. We'll take a homer if we can get it. Let's go, baby. Tridents up. Got to find a way. All the good luck charms have to come together. Top of the 9th, we're knotted up at 5. Runners at first and second, JP and Julio. And we got big dumper Cal Raleigh in the box. First pitch, inside, fouled off, 0-1 count. Miller on the mound, 101.3. Gosh, he's wild. Come on, Cal. And pitch fouled off with the four-seam fastball in the zone. Behind in the count now 0-2. Runners at first and second. Miller on the mound, who is a stud. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh in the box. Four-seam fastball. Way high and outside, fouled off. Count still 0-2 to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Change up. Low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Miller to big dumper. Pitch fouled off, high and out of the zone with the four-seam fastball, 101.8. I mean, if Cal can connect, it'll be gone. You know, if he gets it right on that torpedo spot, it'll be a homer, especially if it's coming at 101 right at you. But we'll even take a single just to get bases loaded. I mean, obviously getting an RBI to take the lead would be ideal. Pitch, 86.8 with the slider, tried to fool Cal, but he fouls it off anyways. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Miller to big dumper at Cal Raleigh. Runners at first and second in the top of the 9th. We're knotted up at 5 with 2 outs. And a 1-2 pitch incoming again from Miller to Raleigh. 0 for 2 with 2 walks and a K. And Cal Raleigh strikes out swinging. Fuck! Oh, so we're going to have to find a way to be clean here in the bottom of the 9th, and hopefully we can win in the 10th, 6-5. Brutal. Next up for the Athletics, 1 for 3 with a double, hit by pitch and 2 runs, DHing Brent Rooker. On deck, 1 for 3, hit by a pitch and a K, left fielder Tyler Soderstrom. And batting third would be Miguel Andujar, but they're going to bring in Max Schumann. So let me get that photo updated. So we got Rooker, Soderstrom, and Max Schumann. Looks like ESPN is finally updated. Good for them. It only took them like an hour. Oh man, what a game, what a game, what a game. I need to go take my pup on a long walk and I got to eat dinner, but we want to have it be a victory walk here. All right, what are we at? 1 like away from 50. If you're in the room and you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We have at least 30 or 40 people that haven't done it yet. If we get a couple more, we can get above 50, which would be great. And obviously on the Dono train, we're a little bit behind the 8 ball there, but hopefully we'll have some people show some love before the stream ends. And they got Thornton still in the game. I don't know if I like that. Or do they? What do we got going on here? Is Thornton still? Yeah. Wow. I don't know if I like with Thornton here, but we'll take what we can get. In play, Rooker ground out to second, 1 away. Well, we'll take that, I guess, huh? Rooker went after a pitch like Julio and came up with nothing. We'll take it. Next up, left fielder Tyler Soderstrom. First pitch is high and away with the ball, 1-0 count. Pitch is outside, takes a strike looking. 1 ball and 1 strike from Thornton to Soderstrom. Bottom of the 9th with 1 out. We're knotted up at 5. Good game, and we got Emerson Hancock on the bump tomorrow. Same time, same place at 7 o'clock Pacific. 1-1 pitch, in play with the curve, and grounded out to first. Got him. 2 away. There we go. I don't like having Trent Thornton out there at all, let alone for 2 innings, but we'll see where it goes. So they were going to have Schumann come in, and then they changed their mind from Andujar to Schumann. Now they're going Seth Brown. Bottom of the 9th with 2 outs. All we got to do is get 1 more out here on Seth Brown, and then hopefully we can find a way to win in the top of the 10th. In play on the first pitch, and a single to left by Seth Brown. Fuck. Next up, catcher Shea Langoliers. 1 for 3 with a run, 2 RBIs. Runner at first with 2 outs. We're knotted up at 5. Well, that was a good decision to move on from Max Schumann and to put in Seth Brown. It worked there. First pitch to Langoliers, takes a strike looking with a cutter. 0-1 count. Bottom of the 9th, 5-5 game. Runner at first with 2 outs. We just need 2 more strikes, and hopefully the bats will come alive.
Oh my gosh.
0-1 pitch. 4-seam fastball at the head. 1 ball and 1 strike from Thornton to Langoliers. Come on, baby. Shea in the box. Thornton on the mound. Pitch is 10 feet off the plate. High and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Thornton to Langoliers. Come on, Trent. Pitch fouled off on the line. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Thornton to Shea Langoliers. 1 more strike to get out of this inning, baby. Let's go. I know, Paisley. I know. I know, honey. Slider low and away at the knees, and that is a walk. Fuck, Thornton. We don't want to lose the game here. Might be a bad decision having Thornton pitch 2 fucking innings. Shouldn't even be on the team. He should be in AAA. Now we got runners at first and second with 2 outs. And next up is JJ Bleday. Come on, Mariners. And JJ Bleday, 1 for 3 with a run, base on ball, and a K. Fuck, man. And again, a lot of these moves that Wilson has made as our manager, he hasn't really got burnt by them. It's like, oh, you have Jorge Polanco 3 for 4, and then he has like Mitch Garver pinch hit, and you're like, no. And then Garver gets the winning RBI. Like, there's always been these like weird scenarios where, obviously besides that one game against the Marlins where you had Casey Lawrence after Logan Gilbert got hurt, pitch 5 innings like a moron, but hopefully we can find a way to get out of this. unscathed? We'll find out. First pitch on a curve, 2 feet off the plate from Thornton to Blade, 1-0 count.
Oh my gosh.
Bottom of the ninth, knotted up at 5. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Trent Thornton on the mound, JJ Blade in the box. Come on, baby, get out of the inning. And yes, we get out of the inning. Thank God. End of the 9th inning. We're knotted up at 5. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. And just like I said, with those questionable substitutions, they're going to bring in for Rowdy Tellez, Donovan Solano. I don't know about that. Did Solano actually get a hit? Well, can he be more trustworthy than Julio? I don't know. All right, leading off for the Mariners, the former Padre, Donovan Solano, who was terrible, batting .50 for a good chunk of the year, but was 4 for 40. But in the last few games, he has been able to get at least a hit. Hopefully he can get one here tonight. Batting second in the 6 hole, left fielder 1 for 4, Miles Mastrobuoni. And batting third, 2 for 4, with 2 RBIs and a K, Ben Williamson. Oh, man. Donovan Solano. I don't know. But again, you know, we've had these situations before where we've had Polo playing great, and all of a sudden he brings in Mitch Garver, and you're like, no. And then Garver gets a hit. So, you know, we've had these scenarios come up, but I don't know about Donovan Solano, though. First pitch, takes a strike, looking down and in the zone. 0-1 count from Ferguson to Solano. At least it's not Mason Miller anymore. At least that's what we got going for us. Let's see if the former Padre can actually play like he was a former Padre when he was actually batting like 280. But nowhere near that here in Seattle. 0-1 pitch. Sweeper down at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Ferguson to Solano. I mean, the best case scenario for Solano is that he forces a walk or if he gets hit by a pitch. Like, I don't even really expect any home run or, you know, single or double. Just, like, try to get walked. And he's not fast enough to drop a bunt down, unfortunately, so. In play. And flied out to right. Cal Raleigh to third. At least he moved the hitter over. Nice job by Donovan Solano. You know, he usually ends up grounding out with a weak hit in the infield, so we'll take that. Good job. Next up, Miles Mastrobuoni. Let's see if we can get an RBI single here. Bring Cal home, win this fucking game. Let's go, baby. Cal is like a ghost runner. And he's at third. Come on, Miles. Just like this. Top of the 10th. We're knotted up at 5 with 1 out. Cal Raleigh at third. Donovan Solano did his job. Miles, can you do yours? First pitch. Low and away. 1-0 count from Ferguson to Mastrobuoni. Let's go, M's. Trident's up. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Ferguson to Mastrobuoni. All right, take it easy, brother. Top of the 10th, runner at third, 5-5. We're knotted up. 1-1 count. Ferguson to Mastrobuoni, and both pitchers, Severino and Miller, were not good today. And again, it just really comes down to, what bullpen is going to be stronger and who can come up with a little bit of a rally. Not a lot of home runs in this matchup. Langoliers with a homer, and that's pretty much it. Everything else has been just grinding out these at-bats. Pitch fouled off with the sweeper. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch, 10 feet off the plate. Wow. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ferguson to Mastrobuoni. Let's go, Miles. Top of the 10th, 5-5, runner at third with 1 out. Ferguson on the mound, Mastrobuoni in the box. 2-2 count with 1 away. Go, baby. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. In play. Mastrobuoni gets it done. Sack fly to left. Cal scores. You're the fucking man. Woo! Let's go. Next up, Ben Williamson. He can play defense and he can hit. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. First pitch takes a strike looking inside. 0-1 count. Nice job, baby. Let's keep it pouring on. 6-5 Mariners. We're winning this game. Let's go. Let's go, baby. 0-1 pitch. Low and away with the sweeper. 0-2 count. Come on, Big Ben. Let's go, baby. And we can bring Munoz in now and end this game. Come on, Big Ben. Let's see if we can get one more. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Ferguson to Big Ben Williamson. And down goes Big Ben, but we take the lead. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 10th. Bring in Munoz and shut this game down. Next up for the Athletics in the bottom of the 10th, 1 for 4 with an RBI, shortstop Jacob Wilson. Batting second, 1 for 4 with a run, first baseman Nick Kurtz. And batting third, 3 for 4, the former Seattle Mariner, second baseman Luis Urias. Let's go, Mariners. I wonder if Munoz is going to come in. I hope he comes in. Okay, yes, he is coming in. I was about to say I was waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like, you got to now since we have the lead. If we were tied, maybe not, but now we have the lead, so. And he's got an ERA of 0.00 if you don't follow the Mariners, so he definitely will be in the All-Star game this year. And he's the best closer in baseball up to this point, so. Let's go, Munoz. And it's not like he's only played or entered in a couple games. He's already been in 14, 15, 16 opportunities, and he's at a 0.00. So let's try to keep it that way. Let's go, Munoz. We bust out all the Munoz. Let's go, baby. Munoz on the mound. Jacob Wilson in the box. Bottom of the 10th, 6-5 Mariners. Nice job by Miles Mastroboni. You never know who's going to end up being the hero. And in play, wow, Jacob Wilson single to right. Blade flashing the speed from second all the way home. And we're knotted up at 6. Holy cow. I don't think we were expecting that. Next up is Nick Kurtz. Well, he better settle in or we will lose in this inning. And how does that get through like that? Holy hell. Great speed by J.J. Blade. You can't really knock him for that, to go from second to home. Brilliantly executed, and that's the first run out of 14, 15, 16 opportunities for Andres Munoz. Tough. First pitch is low and at the knees for Munoz to Kurtz. 1-0 count, and hopefully he'll be able to recover. Otherwise, we will lose here in this inning. Pitch is low and away. 2-0 count for Munoz to Kurtz. 2-0 pitch. Low and at the knees. 3-0 count. Come on, Munoz. What the fuck are you doing? 3-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking in the zone. 3 balls and 1 strike from Munoz to Kurtz. Yeah, we definitely need a double play here, 100%. Pitch fouled off. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes for Munoz to Kurtz. And 1 for 4 with a single in the 4th and a run. Ump not really giving us anything really on the line there. And that is a walk. Fuck, Munoz. Kurtz walked, Wilson a second, and got runners at first and second with no outs. We might have lost this game right there. Gonna take a miracle now, especially with no outs. And next up, the former Mariner, 3 for 4, Luis Urias. Oh, fucking A, man. It's going to take a miracle now because, most teams that are tied with no outs with runners at first and second at minimum normally get a run. So we're going to need the defense to come out or Munoz to start keying a couple people up or this, unless we can get like a double play at some point, but a lot harder when you got guys at first and second instead of just like a guy at first. And we got Emerson Hancock on the bump tomorrow, so, if we're not careful, we might only win 1 game in this series. We got Wu on Wednesday. We feel confident there, but wish Bryce Miller was a little bit better today, but pitching hasn't been good for either team, and we're knotted up at 6. And now we got a mound visit by everybody on the team, trying to figure out what the best way is to get out of this. But definitely Munoz's worst performance up to this point. I mean, he had an ERA of 0, and normally you don't have 14, 15, 16 opportunities and you're at 0, but tough one to be able to give it up here. But the Athletics are a good team this year. I would love to see them make a wild card. First pitch right down the pipe with the sinker. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, bunted foul. 1 ball and 1 strike from Munoz to Urias, the former Seattle Mariner. And unfortunately, we haven't bunted it all today. Haven't really been able to steal any bags either. Haven't hit any home runs. So it's definitely, if we didn't have that 4-run 3rd inning, yeah, this one would have been over a long time ago. Back-to-back bunt attempts here. Slider fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Munoz to Urias. Bottom of the 10th, runners at first and second with fucking no outs. Four-seam fastball, 100 miles an hour, right down the pipe, fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Munoz to Urias. Come on, baby. Pitches high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Munoz to Luis Urias. Slider fouled off. Count remains 2-2 with runners at first and second with no outs in the bottom of the 10th. It's going to take a miracle for us to win this, if we're really being honest. I mean, we really dug ourselves into a hole here. I mean, the only thing worse that would be, bases loaded with no outs. But if we're not careful, that's what we're going to get here in a second, unless they get an RBI single and the game is over 7-6. But we definitely have to play better. And again, it definitely shows people, too, that the A's are good this year. Just a couple games ago, they had the same record as the Mariners, 9-2. So they're pretty hot as of late, just like Seattle. Pitches low and away on a four-seam fastball. Can't find the zone. Now count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fucking A, Munoz. You chose a real great time to suck ass here. But I would rather see the Athletics make it over the Astros or the Rangers. Angels have no shot because they're terrible. But it would be cool to have 2 teams that haven't gone, in quite some time. I mean, it's only been a couple years for us, but quite a few for the Athletics. Pitch is low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Munoz to Urias. Runners at first and second here in the bottom of the 10th with no outs. Throw to first. Got him. Runners advance to second and third. At least we got an out. Now what's going on here? They're going to say interference? What the fuck? Urias reached first base with catcher interference. Kurtz to second and Wilson to third. Now it is bases loaded. No outs. Well, I guess we lost this game. Wow. Where's the interference? All right, bases loaded with no out, 6-6, bottom of the 10th. And at this point, just give them the interference if they're going to take it. I mean, you got to, just give it to them. It's fine. And then we're going to have to try to bounce back fucking tomorrow and then with Woo on Wednesday. Next up is Lawrence Butler. First pitch, fouled off with the four-seam fastball, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off with the slider in the same spot. Behind in the count now 0-2 from Munoz to Butler. Bottom of the 10th, bases loaded, no outs. It's going to take a miracle for us to get out of this inning without them winning. Like it's almost 99.99% they won. So unless we can find a way to get a couple punch outs and, or a couple force outs at home here, we'll see. Pitches outside, four-seam fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Munoz to Butler. And Butler struck out looking. There we go, 1 away. All right, so now we just have to get a couple force outs, another strikeout and a force out at home, and, we'll see what happens. But most teams do not get out of this with bases loaded and no outs. And that's 1 down. Down goes Lawrence Butler. Next up, Brent Rooker, who's a stud. 1 for 4 with 2 runs. Bottom of the 10th with 1 out. We got to try to get a force out at home or strike him out. First pitch, low and away. 1-0 count from Munoz to Rooker.
Oh my gosh.
Wild, man. 10:22 Pacific here. Obviously in the Midwest, it's 12:22, and if you're on the East Coast, it's 1:22. Yeah, double play is possible, but it's not likely with bases loaded, though. To be able to get that with runners, if they're going to be running and whatnot. I mean, not impossible, but probably more likely we can get a strikeout, hopefully. They could also walk and just get a freebie win and win 7-6 with 4 straight balls. We're already at 2-0 right now. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking with the slider in the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike from Munoz to Rooker. Hopefully we don't lose to a wild pitch or, 4 balls and then all of a sudden the runner from third comes home and then we lose. Pitch is low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. 1 more ball and the game's over. But not a good performance out of Andres Munoz. He had an ERA of 0 up to this point and was the best closer in baseball. But we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. 3-1 count, fouled off, tried to jam the hitter inside. If he didn't swing, that would have been game over. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded, tied up 6-6 in the bottom of the 10th with 1 out, and we desperately need a punch out here. Or just an out in general. And Rooker strikes out swinging. Got him! Let's go! And we have life. Down goes Rooker with K's. Down goes Butler. Next up, 1 for 4 with a K, left fielder Tyler Soderstrom. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the 10th, bases loaded, 2 outs. It was bases loaded, no outs. Can we find a way to win the game in the top of the 11th? But we have to get out here. First pitch, takes a strike swinging out of the zone. 0-1 count. Come on, Munoz, mow him down. This would be an epic win if we actually come back and win this 7-6 in the 11th inning. I mean, how many teams have bases loaded, no outs, and don't win? Come on, Munoz. It ain't over till it's over. Come on now. Fouled off. 0-2 count. Let's go, baby. Come on, baby. 1 more strike. 1 more strike, and we have life.
Oh my God.
Bottom of the 10th, bases loaded, 2 outs. It was bases loaded, no outs. 6-6 tie. Munoz on the mound. Soderstrom in the box. 0-2 count. Got him! Woo! Woo! Let's go! Woo, baby! Let's go, baby! That's what I'm talking about. I mean, let's be real. That situation, if you got bases loaded, no outs, and it's at the end of the game, game's fucking over. Like, for us to actually get out of the inning, that happens like once or twice a season, like this deep in the game. And for whatever reason, we were able to get out of it. Oh my gosh, crazy. All right, here we go. Maybe it's those A's fans getting a little cocky, thinking that they automatically won previous to that bases loaded, but I don't know what the reasoning is, but the sports gods want us to live for one more inning. Next up, 0 for 3 with a base on ball and a K. Second baseman, Leo Rivas. Batting second, right fielder, Rylan Thomas. And back at the top of the order, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Let's see if they're going to make any adjustments with any of these guys. Doesn't look like it. All right. That's it. Leo, Rylan, JP. Let's go. Find a way. What a fucking game. I mean, you know, if you end up winning in the inning, I mean, it just kind of depends on what the rally is. I mean, the winner could be 7-6, the winner could be 8-6, and that could be A's winning 8-6 or Mariners winning 8-6 or Mariners winning 7-6 or the A's winning 7-6. But, you know, we haven't hit any homers today, so I'm not sure if we're going to get one here late. You know, more than likely, probably not. But we just got to be able to, you know, get that nice RBI and bring that runner home from second. Yeah, you don't bet against Seattle. I mean, we're the hottest team in baseball. You know, it's like if you want to bet, like bet for Seattle in most situations, and then you bet like against like the Rockies. You know, that would be the smart thing to do. But again, you know, anybody can beat anybody on any given, you know, Sunday through Monday. But that was definitely something that I haven't seen that often. We got Ben Williamson as the ghost runner. Yeah, but we're not the same team as we were last year. Last year, we were a top 3 pitching team and literally the worst hitting team and the number 1 strikeout team. Now, our pitching is probably 10th to 15th because we have injuries with Gilbert and Kirby. But our hitting right now is like, you know, number 1, number 2, number 3. You know, so... I mean, within the last month, we're number 1 in like 5-6 different offensive categories. So, first pitch from Harris to Rivas. Inside at the knees, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. At the knees again with a 4-seam fastball. 2-0 count from Harris to Rivas. Come on, Leo. 2-0 pitch. Outside and away. 3-0 count. Take the walk. Here we go. This might be the inning that we win. But we win in many different crazy ways, and, you know, chaos ball. And even though we're not as good of a pitching team in you know, years past, we're still finding ways to score runs, and we've been averaging about 6 runs a game. And normally, you know, in previous years, it was like maybe 1 to 3. So much better this year hitting. Seitzer and Edgar Martinez and Ichiro have done a good job. Takes a strike looking inside. 3 balls and 1 strike from Harris to Rivas. 3-1 pitch. Fouled off. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Harris to Rivas. I wouldn't say that we always beat your Red Sox, you know, to give you some advice. We actually went to Boston a few weeks ago, right? That was the first time that we won a series in Boston, 2 games out of 3 in 11 years. So we actually don't beat you that often. That was the first time that we've beaten you guys in Boston in 11 years. 2 games out of 3. So this team is different. Fouled off on a 4-seam fastball. But again, I watch every game from beginning to end, and I've been watching for 40 years. So top of the 11th, ghost runner at second, Big Ben Williamson. Harris on the mound, Rivas in the box, and Rivas strikes out swinging, 1 away. Next up, right fielder, fresh from AAA, Rylan Thomas. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. See how high we can get the numbers. And we got Mitch Garver coming in to pinch hit. Go, Mitch. Come on, Garv. Top of the 11th, 6-6 with one out. Let's be a hero today. Let's go. First pitch, low and away with a curve from Harris to Garver. 1-0 count. Top of the 11th, we're knotted up at 6. Ghost runner at second with one out. And I don't know how the hell that we got out of that 10th inning when they had bases loaded, no outs, and got nothing. That typically happens to the Mariners, not the other way around. So this game should already have been over, if we're really being honest. But we got lucky. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking with the changeup, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Harris to Garver. One pitch, takes a strike looking in the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out, runner at second. Harris on the mound, Garver in the box. Come on, baby. Trident's up. It's just a simple fact that, even with articles coming out saying Seattle Mariners and World Series contender, even though we're only like 20, 25% into the season, is a pretty cool thing since we're the only team that has never been. And if we go the first time, we'll probably get smacked and lose in 5 games. But, it'd be cool to be able to get the team to that direction. And then, who knows what could happen in the near future, especially with the #1 farm system in MLB. Pitches outside with a 4-seam fastball. Good eye by Garver. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Big Ben Williamson at second. And we're knotted up at 6. 2-2 pitch. Curve inside. Tried to jam the hitter. Fouled off. Count still remains. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Mitch Garver. Come on, Mitch. Something's got to give. Let's go, baby. Pitch fouled off. Tried to jam the hitter again. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mitch Garver.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, Garv. Let's go, baby. Harris on the mound. Garv in the box. Top of the 11th. We're knotted up at 6. Runner at second with 1 out. And we've won 8 consecutive series in a row. In play. And popped out to second. 2 away. All right, next up, shortstop J.P. Crawford. But the Mariners are looking to win 9 consecutive series for the first time since a franchise record of 15 straight in 2001. And if you remember that team, that was Ichiro's rookie year where we won 116 games. That's how you end up dominating the league when you win 15 fucking series in a row. Not saying that we can do that. We got a tough slate. A's here, Blue Jays at home, Yankees at home. So we're probably not going to end up winning all of the series, but it would be nice. First pitch, high and outside from Harris to JP. 1-0 count. Come on, JP. And JP in play, lined out to second. And that's it. We leave one stranded, and now we go to the bottom of the 11th. Next up for the Athletics, 1 for 5 in RBI and a K, right fielder Lawrence Butler. Actually, 1 for 6. Excuse me. Batting second, 1 for 5 with 2 runs and a K, Brent Rooker. And batting third, 1 for 5 with 2 Ks, Tyler Soderstrom. Well, we've gained 10 subs in this game alone, so I appreciate you. For all the individuals that have subbed to the channel, not only today, but in the last couple days, this week, or in 2025. Now we only need 30 more to get to 20,001 or 20,800. So shout out to everyone that is in the room showing some love and some support. Appreciate you. And if you haven't hit that like button just yet, please do. We already have 1,400 people. And we'll see if we can get that number a little bit higher by the time the stream ends. Oh, man.
My God.
Due up, Lawrence Butler. On deck, Brent Rooker. And after him, Tyler Soderstrom. Gonna be tough. They got Polo coming in to play second. That's weird. Mastroboni and Wright. Oh, wow. They're going to have Gio Urshela come in and pitch hit. All right, Gio Urshela pinch hitting and coming in. First pitch from Casey Legomina. Fouled off. Tried to jam the hitter at the head. 0-1 count. That's late, man. 10:38. I haven't even had dinner or did my last walk with my pup. Hopefully we can find a way. We got Emerson Hancock on the mound tomorrow, which could get ugly. 0-1 pitch, low and away on the corner with a sweeper. 1 ball and 1 strike from Legomina to Urshela. And if you do a square bunt or you try to bunt and, again, you don't position the bunt right, you're almost going to get hit like that happened right there. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch. And Urshela sacrificed to first, Soderstrom to third, 1 away. Good at bat there from Urshela. He did his job. Next up, catcher Shea Langoliers. Bottom of the 11th with a runner at third with 1 out. Something's got to give. I appreciate it. I'm always grinding, man. I'm the only person on YouTube that does pretty much every game and have been for years, so. And Langoliers intentionally walked. Now you got runners down the corners on first and third. Next up, 1 for 4 with 2 runs, a base on ball, and a K. Center fielder, J.J. Bleday. 1 base knock, the game is over. I appreciate that. I mean, there's nobody else that's going to grind out and do, 150 out of the 162 games or more. I'm literally the only one. So, but I do everything: NFL, college football, MLB, NBA, college hoops, NHL, WWE, AEW, and who knows, even down the road, maybe, some UFC, boxing, whatever it may be. And Bleday is intentionally walked. Wow. I'm not sure if this strategy is the right one I would do here. This intentionally walking all these guys, really? All right. We got to trust Cal in his decision-making here. Bottom of the 11th with bases loaded and 1 out. Now it's Jacob Wilson. And hopefully this works. Let's go, baby. First pitch fouled off with the sweeper. 0-1 count. Yeah, he's looking for the bottom of the order. Strike swinging right in the pipe. Behind in the count now 0-2. It also depends on who he has pitching, right? Because it's not like Cal can pitch. And obviously some pitchers are better than others. So you have to kind of go to the strengths of who you're working with. And any of the guys in the pen that aren't named Matt Brash Gabe Spire or Andres Munoz are usually unreliable. So pitch fouled off on a four-seam fastball, high and tight. Count still 0-2 with one out, bases loaded. Legumina on the mound, Wilson in the box. Now, I don't do Seahawks, but I do like NFL, Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night, but I'll do Mariners, I'll do Kraken. I do Oregon Ducks because I live here, obviously, in Oregon, in the Pacific Northwest. But I'll do other games as well, like if there's big matchups, like Ohio State, Michigan, for like college football, stuff like that. So count still remains 0-2 in play, and that is it. Wilson singled to center, Soderstrom scored, Blade to second, Langoliers to third, and that is the game. Congratulations, Athletics. You're the real deal, and I knew coming into this game just a couple games ago, you had the same record as the Mariners, 9-2. So I knew that this was not going to be an easy series. Also, considering we had Bryce Miller on the mound, who's been dealing with an injured back, and we have Emerson Hancock, who's more of a AAA pitcher than a starter. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but we're not going to cry and pout. This team is good, and don't be surprised if you see the Mariners and the Athletics in the playoffs this year, even over teams like the Astros and the Rangers. But again, we got Emerson Hancock on the mound. We'll have a chance to rebound and be able to come back tomorrow. And then we got Brian Wu on the mound on Wednesday in the morning. So again, if you remember how the streaks were going, we won 8 consecutive series. We typically lose the first game and win games 2 and 3. But in this particular series, you got to give the Athletics love and support, and you got to understand that we might only win 1 game out of 3. And depending on if we lose tomorrow and Wu is shaky, we could get swept. This team is a lot better than people want to give them credit for. So, in the spring training, I said the 2 teams that I thought that would be, much better than last year were the A's and the Red Sox. And so far, I'm looking pretty smart. So, again, I will be live tomorrow, same time, same place, hopefully a different result, 7 o'clock Pacific. And hopefully we'll end up having a better result with Emerson Hancock on the mound. So congratulations, Athletic fans. Mariners will be back. Tridents up. Final score in 11. Athletics 7, Mariners 6. And again, we will be live tomorrow. Shout out to all the people that liked, sub, donated, commented, and shared. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I am out. Go M's.